Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the next episode of Casual Rage number 23, in fact. Hello, and welcome again. Now, we are going to be talking about quite a bit tonight. We've got a lot to get through, and we're definitely going to do a video breakdown. I watched the whole video myself. I can't believe I got to actually go through it twice. And yeah, that's going to be a tough one, but we'll see how we go. Anyway, let's quickly introduce and say hello to our guests. We've got Lyndon Hall here tonight. Hello, Kangaroo Lyndon.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, good. So have we been able to figure out, chat or anyone out there, what Lyndon's real name is? Give us any ideas in the chat what it could be. I think it's Boris. I actually think he's a Russian spy, and his name is Boris. All right, and welcome, Tim. Open airlock policy.
Morning, how are you?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Oh, not bad. Just
not bad.
Long week, and I'm glad I'm not working today. So,
did you drop any videos this week?
No, Sunday night I was gonna try to make a couple, and I don't think they're stale yet, but I definitely want to try to do that tonight or in the morning. So just different topics to talk about right now.
I got to start dropping more videos. I did my Darksaber video this week. It was the first video that I made in 2 weeks.
Yeah, good one.
And
good call out.
It's so funny because it's actually probably the one video that I've actually got the most negative comments in, which we were just talking about before the stream started. So,
ooh, and I did notice it had quite a few dislikes too. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. I mean, it's because I'm talking about The Mandalorian in a bad way. It's so funny.
Feed the haters. Feed them.
I tell you what. If I said half the shit that I was saying in that video about like The Last Jedi, that wouldn't have I mean, it's only a couple of thumbs down, but I don't think it'd have that many.
Yeah.
Lyndon, congratulations on your 400.
Thanks, 400.
Man. Yes,
that's pretty good. And your video on Geeks and Gamers has done pretty well. How many views is it at now?
Oh, I think it's one of the lower ones on his channel.
Yeah, but still, considering it's a new content creator, like I remembered watching some of the ones that Drunk 3PO was putting on those Sundays where he,
Yeah, but then Jeremy was like, yeah, we're going to make another channel for you, Drunk, and we're going to call it Park Hopping because this is getting shocking.
Maybe you do the same thing for you. It's called Sports Wars. Hey, no. All right, let's see who we've got here in the chat. Joseph was here early. Hello, Joseph. I think he's either asleep or he's here. No, he is here. We've got Lord Vader. And there's Joseph there. Hello, guys. We've got Gordon. Who else we got here? Scrolling just through quickly. Timon.
What's up,
G'day, Daniel. G'day, all.
Danny
G'day,
boy.
Mate. He made a meme of me that he sent to me earlier, Batman.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Maybe I'll bring it up and I'll show everyone. Sexy Kangaroo. I think he's referring to you, Boris.
Check. Can you look at the name again? Yeah.
Retracted. I think that's... Oh, no, we got the Geek Blend. He can't be here. He's been having a lot of technical difficulties this morning. He's been trying to get his review out of Wandavision. He's probably hating me talking about it because it's reminding him of the crap that he's just been going through all fucking night. But yeah.
Everyone needs to email OBS and say, quit changing stuff. It's okay to add functionality, but to purposely fuck up, positions of controls and stuff like that. Why you do that? Why you do that?
Yeah.
Tell him to quit.
We got Blue Eyed Scorpio in the house. He'll make a show. And we've also got Blake. I think we're all caught up with everyone.
What's up,
Matthew. More Charles. He's around. He's not asleep. He's definitely... Hey, Charles.
Fuck, yeah.
He'll come in a second. You watch. And we've also got Sporking. G'day, Scott.
Hey.
Thank you for all your help. He gave me a shout out for my GoFundMe on his stream the other day. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate it. Everyone in the chat that has actually donated to my GoFundMe, thank you very much. Anyone that shared it out, you know, I understand it's tough times, hence why I've actually got it up there. That's what she said. Yeah, I just want to thank everyone. I'm very humbled, and I really do appreciate it. And again, I'm a little bit embarrassed by it because, you know, I'm asking for help to just help me sort of live, whereas like there's people out there that are asking for help for like cancer treatment and stuff like that. So I really do appreciate it. So thank you, everyone. All right, let's actually get straight into it. So we'll start. What do we want to start with? Start with Wandavision, yeah. Mm-hmm. May as well. I know that Retracted wants to. No, I can't. It needs to be Boris, and I'm going to say it like Boris every time. I know that you are quite tired. You haven't been getting too much sleep recently, so we'll get through this and then you can leave if you'd like. So what do you think of the episode, Lyndon? We've done our review if you want to go check that out on Lethal's channel, but what do you think?
I liked it. I really liked it. Oh man, the other perspective which you spoke about that you see, and oh man, I just want to talk about that one shot you see when you see Vision's fucking dead body walking around. You're like, oh my god, holy shit!
Yeah, that's crazy. I should mention that we're going to be talking spoilers about Wandavision. So yeah, I know it's very early on in the stream, but we are definitely speaking spoilers. And here's the first one. Let's my thoughts on it just really quickly, seeing as Lyndon gave his thoughts. I really liked this episode too. It was a great episode. It really put a lot of things in perspective. It answered a lot of questions, but then it also left you with enough to go, what's going on still? So it's really quite good. It pretty much starts back up with the blip. So Tony snapped his fingers and everyone's coming back. And Monica Rambeau wakes up in hospital. And she was basically nursing her mum through cancer, or they were nursing her mum through cancer. And she apparently just had surgery before the snap, or they just finished surgery just before the snap when they all disappeared. And then, of course, she appears 5 years later. She thinks it's been 20 minutes. And she's worried about where did her mum go because she was in the bed right next to her 20 minutes ago in her eyes. And she is freaking out. And all these bodies in the hospital are just popping up out of nowhere. Like just people everywhere just showing up. And she ends up seeing the doctor that did the surgery on her mum. And she mentions that her mum died 3 years ago, 2 years before they all disappeared. And that's where that's the intro scene. Me personally, I had goosebumps in this scene. It was really good. Really, like, again, what are your thoughts on this bit, Lyndon?
Yeah, same. Because the last time we saw the blip was like in Spider-Man 2, like was it Far From Home, and it was kind of like a lighter, funnier version. But this was like full on, like in a hospital, like, where's my mother? What the fuck? You can't tell me she's dead. What the fuck is going on? And everyone's just like, holy shit. And I'm like, oh, okay. This is like the end of Infinity War. Like when you see Hill and Fury and the chopper flies into that fucking, you're like, oh shit's going down. It's like the opposite of that.
Yeah, it was really cool. And again, seeing the dusting in reverse, that was really, really cool. I don't think I shared sound, and I don't want the sound shared, but like the way that all reversed, it looked really good. She wakes up and then she looks at her hands and they're sort of coming back. I just don't want to play too much. Again, I've had a couple of my streams taken down from Disney like that. It just, again, it was really good. And the chaos around the blip, because you got to think, like, with half of the entire planet after 5 years showing up in the exact positions that they were in, could you imagine what that... I'm curious. Now, here's a question for you guys on the panel and the guys in the chat. Let's say there was a plane and the snap happens and they disappear. When the blip happens, do they reappear in the sky, not surrounded by a plane anymore?
Yeah, that's what I always thought. I was like, oh, well, a lot of people are going to die anyway.
Yeah, like they're plummeting.
Yeah,
to the
that
earth.
was discussed, a couple years back when the movie came out, like
Yeah.
people are going to die.
That's interesting. Because, like, imagine if you were crossing the road, something as simple as crossing the road because you had the green man so that you could walk across. And then all of a sudden you appear and it's a green light and all these cars are going through and all of a sudden you just appear and boom, you're dead straight away. Man, that's crazy shit. I never even really thought about that, but yeah, that's nuts. Anyway, so like I said, there's people showing up everywhere. There's chaos happening in the hospital. She wonders where her mum is, and we get the opening scene. Do you want to explain what happens here, Lyndon?
I just pulled up a Cinema Blend article that discusses this. Okay, it says, Jesus, where is it? So there's someone asked Kevin Feige about that exact thing. So has elaborated on how this worked if one was in a plane. If people were in an airplane when they were dusted, they didn't return at 35,000 feet. They didn't fall to their deaths because Smart Colt is smart. And when he snapped, you can wish for whatever you want and you can wish for everyone to come back safely. So it's a kind of a road in and get out of jail free card they did.
It is, but then when you see Monica Rambeau come back in the exact, like, it makes me think, what if the chair wasn't there?
I mean, that's not really...
Would she have been sitting in the chair? Because there were people that were appearing as soon as she walks out that door. Like, look at this. Let me get to the right bit. Hang on. Go back just a sec. Look at this guy. Right here. There's a guy coming back in the hallway.
In the middle of
and he's in... And there's another one here coming back in the hallway. Like, I don't know. It makes me think, like, these people that are coming back in this look like they're coming back in the exact motion like they were walking down the hallway with their,
but
drips and everything.
Like, they made him do it back in a safe position so they wouldn't be like in the air.
So some people ended up coming back in the exact position that they were in. Some people came back
on the ground, obviously, or whatever.
I think I think they didn't think it through, and it was just an easy answer for them.
Yeah. Sounds like.
All right. Yeah. Again. So, do you want to explain what's going on here? We got the sword.
So we got sentient. Whoa! No, fuck! I don't remember.
There it is.
There you go. Sentient weapon observation response. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So you got that guy at the front counter being a dick because she's a female or some shit. I don't know. That's the one little thing I was like,
Well, I didn't really... Oh, we got another guest. I wish I had that clip of yours. It's been a long time friend. I found it funny when you said she's been a long time friend, and it was like Drunk 3PO.
Yeah, no, I didn't find that.
Yes, she's been a long time friend. Welcome, Lethal Lightning.
I got my couch put together.
Yay! Cheers! Congratulations. Without instructions.
It came without instructions. I opened the packaging. I was like, where are the instructions? I started like looking around, turning stuff upside down. I was like, there's no instructions.
Was it IKEA?
No, it was some brand up.
Hey, Lethal, is it a
G'day.
couch? Hey, is it a couch of the casting type?
Yeah.
No, it's too small for that.
Is it wipeable?
Well, shit,
Very important.
There's only one way to find out, ain't there?
Got to christen that shit.
Oh god, how are we doing,
Hey.
fellas?
Yeah, good. Have you been
Good.
listening at all, or have you just jumped in?
I've just jumped in.
All right. Well, we pretty much just started talking about Wandavision.
Nice.
What do you think? What do you think of that opening scene where Monica comes back in the hospital undusted?
Undusted. Honestly, I think it would have been one of my favorite parts from the whole episode. The episode was good, but I think this would have been one of my favorite parts. Seeing the like the repercussions of everyone just coming back. I really like that, like the chaos of it, because all of a sudden, you know, half the population just reappears all of a sudden. Like, that's going to cause some issues. And then just seeing everyone going fucking crazy.
Yeah, I like that too. We mentioned that. That was really good. Sorry, guys, I might be a little slow. I'm a little tired tonight. We'll try and get through, you know, unscathed. All right. So, so basically this guy here is a bit of a dick, yes, to Monica because she can't get in. And then the director guy actually shows up conveniently enough and she gets in. I'm just curious, like, is there any chance that this director guy could be a bad guy?
I don't know.
Holy shit.
Like,
Sorry to derail this, but we got breaking news. Zack Snyder just tweeted out Snyder Cut is coming 18th of March.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Let me get my Twitter up. Do you want
to bring that up, Lyndon?
Yeah.
Pause.
I think that's
Pause
the date
on
everyone-
Oh, yeah, boy.
Zack Snyder, Fallen, hashtag Snyder Cut, 7 minutes ago, 18th of March, 2021.
Let's get that shit trending.
Boy.
Like, fuck yeah, cunt.
But it doesn't exist. It's a magic unicorn. It doesn't exist. It's still going to be shit.
I saw it from the one and only Grace Randolph retweet. Trailer in the next 2 weeks.
Blake is asking, is Godzilla
yeah.
versus Kong to blame?
Yeah, well, once they dropped out, it opened it up easy for Snyder.
Oh, yeah.
There's Charles.
Oh,
You
Yeah.
want more Charles? There he is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Lyndon's
Oh, yeah.
Lethal's happy.
Get busy.
What are we? Some kind of Suicide Squad?
What are we, some kind of Justice League?
What are
Are we
we, some kind of
some kind of-
Snyder Cut squad?
Bodies. See, Lethal.
Bring on the Spurgs. Where them Spurgs at?
Lethal just wants the Spurgs to come out and just Spurg, and then he can have fun and have a good laugh.
Spurgs come out to play.
Sorry, I just fucking...
Yes, retweet that shit. Lethal. I've determined that Lyndon's a Russian spy, and his name is Boris. His real name.
Duh.
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 No, it was on Boris Johnson, can't you see? Boris, some
Nah.
kind of affected.
Nah, that's just it's a
It's a front.
cover.
Yeah, it's cool.
Cover. All right. That's very good news about Suicide Squad. About the Snyder Cut. That's awesome. Can't wait for that. How are we getting that here? Or is it going to
Who
be in
knows?
theaters?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We'll just fucking find it somewhere.
Lethal, come on, man. Get some info. Is it going to be in streaming?
You know, depending on who you listen to over here, we might have it in the cinema. Depends who you listen to.
All 4 hours of it.
In the theaters, eh?
I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
They need an intermission if they do.
Oh, fucking oath, man. 4 hours is a long time to be in the cinema.
Yeah, but that'd kill them. You couldn't add an intermission onto a 4-hour movie in a theater.
Yeah, and you'd like more than halving how many screenings you can have.
Yeah.
You'd have like 3 at most.
All right,
So-
let's get back to WandaVision. All right. So yes, Monica gets in. There's her mum who created Sword, founding member or something. What was her nickname there? Oh, now I got to find the actual.
Photon.
Is that what it said?
Photon.
I can't see it.
It's Photon.
All right, cool. So basically, Monica gets grounded. What is it that she can only do? Sentient missions or something.
atmosphere or some shit. I think they said.
What was it, Lyndon?
Well, sentient. Fuck me, that I don't know. It's too late.
Yeah, it's too late.
I thought she said atmosphere, like within atmosphere or some shit.
It's like only missions on Earth. Let's go to. Here we go. It's a perfect spot. Terrestrial. That's it. Terrestrial missions only.
Terrestrial. Yeah, that's the word.
What does that mean? Like, does that mean like only on Earth missions or something like that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they've obviously they're going out into space or whatever now, and there's threats everywhere apparently. And then basically she gets called out to she thinks it's a missing persons thing, and she drives all the way out to Westview. And I really like this scene. Linda, Lethal, what do you think of this scene? Explain what happens here.
they talking to the cops. They're like, okay, well, the agent's explaining is like, not only do they not know who we're talking about, they literally have no idea where we're talking about. And the cops are standing next to like the now entering Westfield sign. And Monica's like, oh, okay, how do I get to Westfield? And the cop's like, there is no such thing as Westfield. It doesn't exist. We live in Eastfield, bitch. So it's like they don't know.
You're saying the town Westfield, New Jersey, doesn't exist, and they are literally, and they say no, like, and they're literally standing next to a sign that says Westview. Did I say Westfield?
I was like, where are we going? We're going to Westfield.
Westfield. We got Westfield shopping centers here. Westview. And they say that they're from Eastview. So the one thing that I didn't pay attention to was, did anyone see the cop car disappear?
No.
Yeah, notice that. It's like, where the fuck did it go?
Because they jump in their car here after they walk away, and no, I went past it. Anyway, it's just really weird because then what happens, and you notice something here too, Lyndon, with the Lethal with the helicopter.
It's Captain Marvel.
The colors, right?
Yeah, look at it. It's the world's first woman. See? It's the world's first woman.
S57, does that mean anything to anyone?
Lyndon?
S57.
Sword 57.
Marvel didn't come, like, they didn't rebrand themselves until which year? Like, what was it, 60?
Oh, shit. He's a longtime friend. She's been a longtime friend. Shit. I don't know how long she's been in the back room for. Mara, hello. How are you?
I just got here, actually. Don't worry.
Thank God.
Long time.
I just popped in to hear the questions. Like, does this mean anything to you? And I'm like, not me.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you put that in there. As soon as you did that, I saw it. How are you?
I could have used another 30 minutes to an hour of sleep, but I'm good.
I feel like that every day.
I get to fix or try to fix the one toilet from my parents today, so that's gonna be fun.
Oh, nice. Did you?
It was 61. It was 61 on Marvel Comics when they rebranded. So never mind.
Okay, 57 though. 57 is Behold the Vision, and it's just a little synopsis on fandom. It says he enters Avengers HQ, collapses, and then a couple other Avengers rush in, and then he bursts back to life and attacks the Avengers. Calms down. Says he's been sent by Ultron to destroy them, and and then whatever. It's basically the Ultron story.
Hey, Lyndon, now that I've got you here, can you do the Thanos monologue?
In time, I know what it's like to
No,
lose.
properly. Do it properly. In time.
To fail.
Sorry, I pushed the wrong button. Do it again.
Shocker.
Oh, actually, no. Let me get Thanos, and I'll put it up there. Thanos. Oh yeah, which is the best? Yeah, I'll take that one. Save that.
See, instead of like adding people, I yeet people like this.
Oh, okay. See ya.
Thank you for liking whatever it is that you liked. Okay. What's this? From the ground up. I don't know.
Mara, did you see the tweet while this guy's
Did you
fucking around?
Did you see?
Wait,
Go on.
what?
I said, did you see the tweet?
You didn't see the tweet.
Are you talking about the Zack Snyder one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually retweeting it, in the process of retweeting it now. I just saw yours and and Lyndon's.
Lit.
Lit.
Lyndon, who's Lyndon? I only know Thanos, some kind of Thanos.
So
So
he's some kind of Twitch thought.
I'm your content now. Because
So
in
do I.
time, you know what it's like to lose. Feel so
Mario
desperately
Kart.
that you're
And
like
Mario-
had to fail nonetheless because there's blue shells right at the end and you'll get hit just before the line and some cunt will fucking cross it just before you fucking asshole.
Online lag.
nice.
Online lag.
Mara, did you get a chance to watch WandaVision?
I've seen the first 3 episodes. I have not watched episode 4 yet.
Okay.
So
It is-
if you want to like spoil anything, don't worry about it because I basically got the first 3 episodes spoiled for me even before I watched them. And I still watch them, so it's fine.
Okay. I mean, this episode for me was the best episode. I think for Lethal, he liked the previous episode better.
Yeah.
Why is that? I'm just curious. Like, what was better about episode 3 than episode 4 for you?
I just found it more entertaining. There was more Wanda. There was more Vision. I kind of liked the whole sitcom thing they were doing. I liked the oh fuck moment when Monica says, "Oh yeah, by the way, your brother was murdered by Ultron."
Mhm.
Whereas this one was heavy on plot and just less, other shit going on that I like.
I agree with you. Like, this was heavy on plot, but what I loved so much about this episode was how much it actually
Made sense.
no, sorry.
Made sense. Made the rest of it make sense.
Yeah, that's right. And it connected to basically, and like I said in our review, every other episode. It connected some dots for you, and it also opened up a little bit more as well to the mystery side of things, especially when we get to that end bit with Vision and how Wanda sees Vision, but we'll get there. So, of course, this is the helicopter, the drone that Wanda finds in episode 1, is it? Where she sees the colored helicopter?
I think it was episode 2.
Episode 2?
That was the one with I think the Magic Act, like the community kind of event.
Yep, it was, because we also got the bloody hand in that one.
Yeah.
But it like transforms somehow. So that gets sent in, then they see it, and then it sort of just disappears. And this is where Monica gets sucked into it, and of course the investigation opens. And the thing that I liked so much about this episode too was how it sort of did in the beginning of this episode rewind to the beginning of the show sort of thing. The one thing that I was curious about, and we checked this, was whether or not Wanda was at Tony's funeral, like, because she was dusted. And when she came back from the dusting, I was curious on whether or not she was here straight away or whether or not she was around before it. And she was around before it. She was at the funeral. And then we're introduced back to, do you know her name? What's her character name? Or Lethal? Lyndon? Anyone?
I don't know. I don't even remember the Thor movies that well. So
Oh no, but
I
she
never
was
formed.
cool. I liked her.
Yeah,
Darcy.
Yeah. So again, she gets introduced here, and she's sort of the one that figures out that they need a television set, like in the signal or whatever. What was it called? The radiation, the microwave thing. What was it, Lyndon?
CMBR.
Microwave background radiation.
There you go. So in amongst whatever they were detecting with that, she also detected like a old school radio wave or something, and she was able to plug in a TV. And I thought the line about the TV not being a flat screen was pretty. Like, there was a couple of really good moments in this where I kind of laughed, and I thought it was. There you go, perfect. I need a TV, an old one, like not flat. Mm-hmm. Like there was a couple of bits in there where I was kind of like, yeah, that's kind of cool. That's funny. Had a bit of a laugh. I thought this was really good. Do you want to explain, Lyndon, what's going on here?
What is going on here?
This is the guy going down into the.
He's gone in the tunnel, and then it changes when he hits the point where it switches into the new realm. Field. The force field, whatever, fucking new universe. It changes. The rope cuts into a skipping rope.
Yeah, no, it's called skipping rope.
Fuck. And then he comes out as a beekeeper. That's right.
Yeah. Now, one thing that I did notice that was quite interesting, and I'm pretty sure we all sort of noticed this, was when he comes out the other side as the beekeeper, like with all the bees and everything around him. Wanda says no. Now, in the episode, we saw a rewind happen after that. In this, it didn't really seem like that happened. It did cut, though, not long after that. I think it was almost instantaneous. But, like, it's really weird what happens to that guy, because if she said no and rewound in the show and then he wasn't there, well, then did he get kicked out? I'm curious to know what happens with that guy. Does anyone here have any theories?
I don't know.
This is the thing. Like I'm saying, like it's connected the dots with why the beekeeper dude was coming out of the sewer, but it's now opened up another question in regards to, well, what happened to him after that?
See, I feel like you're used to Star Wars where things just don't get explained. You're used to tracking fobs and shit. Most shows actually explain what they're doing. So your mind is blown. You go, wait, what the fuck? They explained what that was?
They actually did something. They actually connected something to something, and it actually made sense. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But Tony Stark.
Bet my Tony.
Tell you what, the only thing that could make this show better is Luke Skywalker. Okay, I'm kind of just skipping along here because another thing that you mentioned in our review, Lethal, was the bits where in the first 3 episodes there's a couple of moments where things are cut and like rewound, or
Lyndon
what's that?
Lyndon mentioned that.
Was that Lyndon?
Okay.
Like when she's watching the show, in the bit where Monica Rambeau says the Ultron line, it's really funny because from that moment, it sort of cuts straight to the end of the show. She doesn't get to see any of what happens.
Yeah.
And the awesome thing for us is near the end of the episode, like it's paused on that screen and it sort of goes into the show, and then we actually get to see how Monica got booted out, which was fucking awesome. How angry was Wanda? And then, hang on, we haven't even got there yet. Let me skip. I did like this connection as well. So the FBI guy is the guy that's on the radio that we hear. Where is the?
So he's the one that's asking her what's doing. Okay.
Yeah. Correct. He's the one that's asking in this scene here what's happening. Now, this is another bit where, let me see if I can just play it out. where like she starts to hear him. Hang on, let me just jump. Oh, I think I went too far.
Yeah, in the show, she starts to hear him and looks at the radio, and then is like, "What the fuck?" And then it stops. But in this,
But then all of a
doesn't even show
sudden,
you.
yeah, it just cuts.
Straight to an ad.
And she's like, what? Like, it's like there was no continuation. It just cuts straight, like the bit where she actually hears it. So she actually doesn't know that she heard it. She thinks that their little experiment there failed, whereas it actually worked.
Oh my god.
What?
Well, that's Scorpio.
Oh, what did he say?
Oh my god.
I heard Monica Rambeau is the next Captain Marvel. And I heard it just doesn't.
It would definitely be rounder. A lot rounder.
Yeah, a lot rounder.
So
Sorry, I've got to just
Sorry,
take
Lethal.
this off. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. Yeah, it's been raining all day here, and it's been really hot and really muggy. So, like, it starts cooling down, and then it starts getting muggy again. It's horrible. Anyway, what were you going to say, Mario? It sounded like you were about to say
nothing. So basically, like, there's still really no clue as to, like, who's doing this to her, if she's doing it to herself, or like how she's Wanda. I mean, like how she's trapped basically in this sitcom environment.
Yes, well, this is the thing. At the moment, these guys still have no idea. We're still in the rewind stages of going through, of course, what happened through episode 1, 2, and 3. It's not up until right at the end of this episode that you actually find out who's controlling this alternate universe or something, whatever you want to call it. Oh, dude, shameless.
The booty is real, though.
Absolutely shameless.
Booty gate real. Bitch got fat cheeks.
I'm still taking credit for giving you the name, Lyndon.
All right. Well, what do you want? 100 views from it?
Yeah, there you go.
It still doesn't see the edits, just cuts.
Yeah,
that's right. So moving on from there, we see obviously the beekeeper. This is where he goes through the shield thing that's underground, and the ends of the rope that's on the end of him turn into an old school skipping rope. I thought that was quite funny. Nothing really happens there. So this is where, let me see if I can play this out. Beekeeper comes out. He hears Vision say Wanda. He looks over. She says no. Now, the moment she said no, we saw a rewind. He's still standing there looking at her. She said no. That's a pretty long time considering it was an instant rewind. True. I'm just pointing that out. Any thoughts, anyone? No? Okay.
Keep going.
They're watching it. Oh, she has a line about how she's invested in the show, which was kind of funny. All right, this is where it really starts to get interesting because they're watching it. And this is where Wanda's getting angry. And Wanda just goes absolutely mental and blows her through the wall.
Hey, Zach just put out another one.
All right, bring it up.
Give it to us.
It's the same thing. It's just a different image.
Get it up.
I like this one.
There you go.
You should tag Scott Mendelson in there.
I'm going to do that right now.
I would have fucking
Hello, Charles.
Nice.
Very good. Oh, what are you going to write? Let's see what he writes. What should he write, Charles? Meow? Write meow. Oh, is that it? You should have said something.
The picture
suck,
says more.
Suck on that.
The picture says
Something
1,000
like
words.
All right. Let's play this. blows her straight through the hole and straight out of there. And that's it. And then she repairs the wall. She realizes that she's done that. And it's basically then revealed in the end here. Oh, let's not go too far. Oh no, it's not this bit, is it? Because I think it cuts straight back to, does she say the line here? No. So it cuts back to here, like the end of the last episode, where she walks in and she goes, what's Monica's name in this world? I can't remember. Geraldine. Where's Geraldine? And she goes, she left. She had to go home and everything like that. And
here we go. Fuck girl.
She sees that.
Bro, look at her face. She's like, oh my God, I remember you fucking died.
She sees that. And again, when you're watching it, it's wow.
Zombie vision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's how she sees him in just like that second, and he's like, "What? Like, why did you? What's wrong?" And she looks up, and he's fine again. It is then revealed. He says that we can leave. She says no, we can't, and she's got everything under control.
Clearly not.
And then it cuts back to Monica saying, "Oh, are you okay?" Did she say the line here? It's Wanda.
So basically, like, Wanda created this almost
It's all
kind of like
Wanda.
how, like, whenever like someone experiences trauma and they kind of build
A universe.
like protective personalities, or like in this case it'd be a universe, but basically some form of protection around her so she doesn't have to live in what's actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
So she receded basically into her mind and created a world where she envisioned her happy.
Well, yeah, that's basically.
At least according to Mark Rambeau.
I don't know what's happened after the snap, because she obviously came back to normally, and then something has obviously happened where she's gone off and she's just thought, I want to live a life with Vision. So she's created this alternate universe in this place called Westview, which nobody seems to know actually exists. It was so strange.
See, the thing is, I'm kind of confused about, if it is Wanda, remember the scene in the third episode where the neighbors are talking to Vision outside after Wanda's given birth, and I don't know what the male neighbors, like his character's name, but he starts telling him about Geraldine, and he's stopped by, what's her name, Agnes or something like that. So it's like, that's what kind of confuses me. So if it's Wanda, so it's like basically she kind of controlling, are they the protective personalities that are like keeping like the reality, Wanda's reality in this case, stable?
Sounds like it.
It's a pocket universe.
Like in psychology, there's a condition called dissociative identity disorder, which would basically be,
Hi, by the way, Angelus.
yeah, but basically be like if someone experiences trauma. It used to be called split personality or multiple personality disorder, and it's now known as dissociative identity disorder, and that's basically when someone creates protective personalities when they experience trauma. So if you imagine the movie Split, that would be that disease. So it's almost like in this case, Wanda created this world, and those are the protective personalities in it.
Well, actually, one thing that I sort of missed throughout this is that they actually work out who all the cast members are within the show. So the cast members are real people, and they're just saying like this person is playing this person, right? So they actually work out who all of these people are. I think with Wanda, she hasn't really got this split personality per se, but she's just wanting this world so badly that
No, I'm
anything
not
that-
saying that she has it. I'm saying like, it's similar to that.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
So basically, these creations within her mind are in a way protective barriers, so that way she doesn't have to face the reality that she's actually living in.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reality that Vision isn't alive. The one thing that I find really interesting, with the point that I made in regards to just the cast members and everything, she's had 2 children, which aren't obviously real people. Now, yes, she has created those, but the people that are actually in this world or in this universe are actually real people.
Mm-hmm.
The babies aren't, but are they now? Like, has she actually created life in this universe?
Doubtful.
I'm very interested in regards to that. Because obviously they didn't do anything to get pregnant, if you get my meaning.
I mean, technically, they did.
Oh, with a dead body.
No, I'm saying like in the episode where like they hear the noise and she kind of like with her powers pushes the beds together.
But he's fucking dead.
I'm saying like in a way, technically they did do it. So I'm not saying it like makes sense.
Nothing makes sense. Justice League is coming out.
I really have no vested interest in the show, so I basically just like go along for the ride.
That's interesting. Spider-Man's universe.
Yes.
Man, I just this show intrigues me so much. It's still such a mystery. Yes, okay. So Wanda has created the universe. First of all, why has she created the universe? She's obviously running away from the demons of not having vision and all of that sort of thing. But then she is also sort of willing to go against maybe her initial morals to ensure that this universe stays under her control, sort of thing, I suppose. I found it funny how Monica ended up in there. She was an agent.
Shit, he tweeted again. This man's on fucking
I
fire.
know. He's doing heaps.
He ain't fucking around this time.
What do you got?
He's got 3 different ones.
Fuck!
That's badass right there.
That's fucking hot fire. That's raw hot fire, mate.
So we got
Raw
just
fucking hot fire.
Lethal's just Grogu all over his pants.
all over his new couch.
At least you can test that wiping up shit.
Wow.
The MCU has done a terrible job explaining her abilities.
Yeah.
Wanda, I feel like it's because
it's because they can't use mutants.
they can't. Yeah, they can't use the mutant at the time when they introduced her.
That's
They
right.
couldn't. Yeah, so it was.
And
just
now that they can introduce mutants, it's really going to fuck with actually how they initially created Wanda through through the Mind Stone, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the MCU, her powers and her brother's powers came from the Mind Stone because they were Hydra was experimenting on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were the only subjects that survived. There's no way that they could retcon that and say, oh, they just showed up because they were mutants and they wanted to get back at Tony Stark, because there's an actual line in there.
Tony Stink.
Tony Stank. That's pretty much it with this. I'm pretty sure that's sort of where it ends.
Go
isn't it?
to the whiteboard.
The whiteboard.
Yeah, like where Jimmy's writing on a whiteboard. Sorry if you can't find it.
Oh no, I remember where's the whiteboard. I remember that bit now. All right.
Well, anyway, just remember what it looks like. Let me show you what I'm talking about here.
I'll stop sharing my screen
Okay.
and see if I can find it. Yeah, go.
So this is the shape that he made on the whiteboard. So, they did this in Iron Man 3, and that was a long time ago, right? So are they bringing AIM back? And then also this beekeeper, In the comics, they call those stupid suits they wear, sometimes they, call them beekeepers.
Mm-hmm.
So is that where they're going?
So.
But that's a big theory that's been out there not only today, but the last couple of weeks around WandaVision. Is it going to be advanced coming back?
Well,
So-
it's funny that you say that because there's so much of that in this. If I just go here, that shape is there.
No shit, Lord Vader. That's what I just said. It was Iron Man 3. Yeah, and there's the shape there too.
I'm trying to find the. Oh, this is there's a couple of times where we go back to the whiteboard. So this is where they're working out the cast.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can.
There was a part in episode 3 that I actually let out a genuine laugh, and that was when Emma Caulfield's character comes in and goes like, "Do these earrings make me look fat?" And then the power cuts out right there, and he's like, "Oh, thank God."
Anyway,
Anyway,
the town is shaped like that hexagon. So, and on the whiteboard. Angelus Draven saying it is AIM.
Well, that opens up a whole another can of worms, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's funny because it's hard to talk about because you really sort of don't know what's going on. Like,
And
you
is
can't
it all
really
her?
come to
Is
any
it all her?
conclusions? Well,
Or is
at the-
someone manipulating her to do this for some
No,
reason?
it doesn't seem that way. And at the very end, Monica says it's Wanda. It's all Wanda. That's her exact line, quote unquote. She's now determined that it's only her that's doing this. And when you actually start to think about what you've seen and how she's tried to essentially stop anyone from coming in to this universe, this pocket universe, whatever you want to call it, it lends credence to that, I think. It's interesting. It really is interesting.
So let me ask you this. Now that you've seen this episode and you seem to be into the show, ask everyone, is there rewatchability at this point? Or is it kind of like, once everything's revealed, there's not a lot of interesting stuff to see a second time or third time around?
I'll let somebody else answer that before I do.
I think once the mystery's all solved and all that, I don't think the show's going to have good rewatchability. I think
Okay.
the only time you'd want to do a rewatch is to go back and go, oh, this was in episode 2. That was a little Easter egg that connected to episode 7.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
But it definitely has my attention, because I never really got deep into the MCU. I'm way more into DC Comics than I am into Marvel. So the fact that this is different, that's what has my attention. And I've had the chat. I haven't had the chat open, so I'm going to open the chat now.
And sorry, I haven't been because I've just been going through all of that. So if because I noticed I have seen you, Stephen. Not Stephen. I have.
Well, the name is really short, so you didn't recognize him. So
I'm actually
Wait, Steven's here?
Hey, I'm the reason why I haven't highlighted you is because you're not beating anyone up. Come on, man.
Nah, Fat Steven's the goal. Always finna beat someone up. I love
Yeah.
Fat Steven's the goal.
you beat up Snyder Cut haters. Sorry, Mark.
I'm not the best. I'm not the best one to ask about rewatchability since I have really no vested interest in anything tied with the MCU. I'm going to continue watching the show, but whether or not I go back and watch it, most likely not.
Think it sucks, hey Biggles. Hello, by the way. Thanks for coming by. What do you think, Lyndon? Do you think there's rewatchability?
You can't ask an MCU stan that. Obviously, I'm gonna fucking watch it more than once.
Fair enough. For me, I actually think there is going to be rewatchability to it once it actually is solved. And it's more on what sort of Lethal said, like the little Easter eggs that maybe you did miss. But I never thought that I'd probably go back and watch episodes 1 and 2. This 4th episode has almost made me want to go back and watch 1 and 2 again. And 3, of course. But it's kind of, I don't know.
Oh, And these guys are saying hex magic. That's a possible explanation. But I don't know. The beekeeper thing, we understand what they're doing. That's like her in the town. The beekeeper is like the representation of what the radiation suit was. But I think it's either a really big red herring or it's too big of a coincidence. So who knows? I think if it is a red herring, they're really pushing that button hard to create speculation like we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And getting talk about it. So
I do just want to say to this comment, basically, like, I understand what you're saying, that it ties into the wider MCU, but in saying that, so does Captain Marvel, and I'll probably never watch that movie again.
Ugh.
You know what I mean? Like
the wider MCU, because they tricked people into watching it because they sandwiched it between Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, they thought that it was going to be more relevant than it actually was. But okay, let me give you a different example. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Okay.
That ties into the wider MCU, but the rewatchability of that is the reason why you rewatch that is to see them all get dusted at the end in the end credit scene. That is the reason why that movie was placed where it was as well. And of course, he is the key to everyone coming back, correct?
Yep.
No, it's the fucking rat that presses the button.
The
in the
rat,
band.
but yes, he had to be in that world, in the whatever it's called.
Well, Strange already saw that happening, so whatever. What was going to happen was going to happen.
No, there was a 1 in 6 million chance or whatever it was that was going to happen. There was a chance.
Listen,
There was a chance.
14,605.
There you go.
Lyndon,
There was
one chance that he had, right? Is that the one timeline where the rat presses the button?
Yes, obviously.
I think
So
the
the-
rat's the MVP of this whole thing.
So there would be a timeline where the rat. There would be
rat
one
would never
of those where the
Didn't
rat
like
never.
apparently there's like 14 million or something possibilities.
I just said 605. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Thanos, chill out.
Yeah.
I lost. I'm fucking pissed.
Tuxedo Mask would kick the fucking shit out of Thanos, I reckon.
He's
Who the
getting
fuck
angry.
is that guy?
He's getting
Thanos
so
would be
angry.
all like,
He's
No,
getting
Tuxedo
so
Mask
angry.
would
He's gone
say,
past
"Fuck your
red.
phone."
He's now purple.
Reality is often disappointing.
So, it's-
bitch, you
So
look
I'm
like
going to
an-
do some Thanos ASMR.
so basically,
You look like
Big
fucking
man.
bad CGI Bruce Willis.
okay.
What did you say, Mara?
Mask.
Shut up. What did you say, Mara?
So basically, they win because a rat presses a button.
Yes.
All right. That's
It's all-
again.
You haven't
That's
seen
part of the reason
Endgame?
why I expect out of the MCU.
You haven't seen Endgame?
No.
I like that idea
what
too.
the
The
Look
rat.
what's
Wait, you-
trending. Look what's trending. Fucking Snyder's
Wait, did
Justice.
you say you haven't seen Endgame?
I haven't seen it.
You're
never
right.
saw
Get the
Endgame?
fuck-
No. I mean, okay, maybe at some point, very, 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 very slight chance I will watch it. But
You can't see
I
it.
still say that all they had to do if they're going to introduce timelines, is go back to Wakanda and aim for the fucking head.
You haven't
No,
watched it.
you know
shut
what
the
they
hell
had
up.
to do if they're going to go back in time. Why did they not go back to just before Thanos destroyed all the stones? Because that's the one time that all the stones were together.
Oh my god, they
Yeah,
fucking
they
explained
had
that.
to go to back to one moment. They didn't have to jump all around to collect the stones because it didn't make any sense.
They fucking explain it in the movie. It's not like you can go back and kill baby Thanos.
It's Star Wars.
No, they don't have to kill him. They just got to get the stones, right?
Yeah.
They don't explain it.
That's all they need is the stones.
Yeah.
They don't have to. And to do that, they did not have to go point to point to point to point to point to try to collect it themselves. They just had to get the gauntlet or keep it away from him. That's all they had to do.
But
Where
they knew where and when he blew up all the stones. They
Yeah.
knew the exact time and place when he did it. So why didn't they go back like 10 minutes before there, hide in the bushes, jump out, hit him with a fucking steel chair, kick the shit out of him, throw some tin cans at him, and steal the stones?
Changing the past doesn't change the future.
Well,
But they're not
obviously
changing it.
did.
It's just
Obviously, it
putting the
did.
stones.
Look at Endgame. Look at old Captain America. Tony's what? Did Black Widow come back? No, she didn't. They just created more fucking timelines.
But they don't need to change it. All they need is the stones. Am I correct in that? All they need is the stones.
Why haven't I watched it, Lord? Why haven't I watched it? Did he see himself?
Lyndon just yeeted himself.
Fucking tuxedo mask.
And he's not even in the back room. Like, I can't even bring him back. He's just like, nah, I'm out.
Why haven't I watched it, Lord Vader? Because I don't care about the MCU. That's why.
I was going to be lethal then for a second and say because she's a woman.
I have taste. That's why.
Not that it was. I just wanted to ask, where was the Fantastic Four Easter egg in Spider-Man, in the last Spider-Man movie? I
never saw it.
I never saw it.
Bring back Lyndon. Lyndon's probably the only one of us that saw it.
Yeah.
Lyndon's not here, man. I can't bring him back. He's just gone. Bye, Lyndon. Everyone go and subscribe to Lyndon. He just passed 400 subscribers and he deserves more. So please go and subscribe to that good man, even though he left my stream without saying goodbye.
I got a better idea. Here's what I want everyone to do. I want everyone to get their end game plot holes and send it to Lyndon.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, they made it. Okay, look.
Send him pictures of dabbing Hulk.
Yeah, you can like the movie. I'm fine. Like, that's your taste. That's your prerogative. But when I'm like, people are trying to explain why they had to do the things they did, they just made that plot so convoluted, more convoluted than it actually had to be. And it's just all they had to do was go back to one point in the entirety of the timeline, and it would not have changed really much of anything.
Are you guys done?
Mm-hmm.
Tuxedo Mask defeated.
I'm just waiting for Lethal to respond.
Tuxedo Mask defeated Thanos. You saw it here.
You saw it here. What are we?
Why did
Some
you blame
kind
me
of
out?
Suicide Squad?
Yeah, exactly.
Bring
him back.
Right. He's not. I can't bring him back unless he clicks on the link again, dude.
So he's actually just yeeted.
He's not in the back room. Do you want me to prove that? I can share my screen.
Yeah, do it.
He's not there. Lyndon, you wanker. Come back. All right. Are we done?
What are we, some kind of Thanos?
Just saying, baby, come back.
I can't do that.
Sense.
Baby, come back. All right. Are we done talking about Wandavision? What was your rating for it, Lethal?
I gave it an 8.
You gave it an 8. I gave it an 8.5.
Wow.
I know Lyndon gave it an 8.5. I thought it was just really good. I thought this, again, was the best episode. What did you give the last episode, Lethal?
I can't remember.
I thought you only gave it a 7.
Yeah. Yeah, this episode was better. I just preferred the last episode.
Fair enough. Harry Muff. Okay. Let's get into a little bit of Star Wars talk. And
that's my cue. No, I'm joking.
I want you to stay because the video that we've got comes from a man that you quite well know.
He's fapped one of his videos.
This guy was the catalyst for Ray being an engineer, henceforth being a pilot, henceforth alien. So this guy, all right, fucking wanker.
Oh well, he stays up for Mario Kart, but he can't stay up for this.
Yeah,
get the fuck out. Get your butt back in. We're talking about Star Wars now. It's even worse.
He's going to stream against me, is he? What an asshole.
He's just gone full Thanos. He's just gone
Piece of shit.
By the way, Rhino, I got to go. See you later. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Perfect. Everyone disappears.
I'm going to go watch
I mentioned Star Wars. Lethal goes, yep, I'm out. Tim goes, yep, I'm out. Mari goes, yep, I'm out. All right. No. So we do have a video coming up. It is only a shorter video. It's only 4.5 minutes long. And man.
So you're saying it's respective to the number of inches of the guy's cock too?
Possibly.
Probably not even that.
Possibly. But we'll get to that. First, I want to just talk a little bit about, have you got that there, Tim?
Yeah, I do. The way.
Can you bring that up for us? We're going to talk a little bit about Jon Favreau and the interview that he. Where was that?
As people say, doesn't prove anything. Like,
Yeah.
even though he clearly states he pitched his ideas to Kathleen Kennedy.
Mara, it's marketing materials, remember? Like
Yeah,
what
I know.
there's
It's all marketing. Yep, all marketing.
You know what I find hilarious
proof.
about this whole thing is, again, it's because it's the Mandalorian.
Mhm.
Like, I just don't understand that concept. And people really do want to believe in this faction thing. I understand that, yes, within Lucasfilm there can be disagreements, but for there to be like, I'm trying to stop you from producing what you're producing, and we're going to try and stop you. Like, what the fuck is that? Get out of here. In a company like that, I do not think so.
Yeah, they go up to the set and tip over each other's cameras. This is Kathleen Kennedy town, motherfucker.
Anyway,
You film your Favreau down the road.
go ahead, Tim.
Number one, does anyone know what the fuck Writers Guild of America West is? Have you ever heard of it before this article came out?
No.
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 Okay. I was going to try to find an about, but I really don't see one on here. Just curious what the fuck they are. Some kind of writers guild, right?
Mm-hmm. It's so funny. I lost 5 viewers saying what I just said. That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, your precious Mandalorian is so fucking precious that I can't actually tell you how shit it is.
Precious right here.
It's so fucking precious. It's the best Star Wars that Disney has given us. It feels like Star Wars. It still breaks shit fucking like Disney Star Wars does. Anyway, sorry, Tim, go on, please.
All right, so we just want to read the article, right?
Yeah, go.
All right,
no,
so
I don't necessarily. Where's the snippet that was on Twitter? Like, I don't. Did you want to go through the whole thing? How long is it?
pretty fucking long.
Yeah, no. I just want to find those couple of questions that.
Yeah,
here it is, right here. I think.
But someone thanked me for posting. He's like, thank you for proving my point. It's just political speak, and I'm like. And he's like, that Favreau's going to save Star Wars. I'm like, really?
Oh, he hasn't already saved it then. Wow, that's progress.
Yeah, he hasn't already saved it. He's going to save it. And I'm like basically, you do realize that one, he only has creative control over one show, where Kathleen Kennedy has creative control over all the shows. And two, he's not only not getting the job, he doesn't want it. So this is the way Kathleen Kennedy is staying.
I was listening to a stream today. I'm not going to mention which stream it was. They were talking about Mandalorian, and they were saying how the Mandalorian is way better written. Well, so much better in the writing and everything than the sequel trilogy. And I'm sitting there going, "Oh my god, are we watching the same show?"
Well, I mean, also, but to I guess. I'm not playing devil's advocate or anything, but look how low that bar was set with the writing in the sequel trilogy. So I'm like,
Mara, I understand that it was set real low, but this writing of the Mandalorian it's not even like that much better. I reckon it's on par with the writing from the sequels. It's that fucking bad.
Well, I mean, I'll take your word for it. I didn't even bother to watch any of the episodes. So, I basically lived vicariously through your guys' reviews of it during Casual Rage. So,
yeah. So I think it's this question where it kind of starts. So here he's talking about just trying to do the same thing that George did and draw on archetypes and stuff. But this paragraph here. And this is Favreau answering the question. You basically wrote the first few episodes of The Mandalorian totally spec and then took them to Disney, right? And he says in the second paragraph, my pitch was very simple at first, and Kathy Kennedy, not, Ms. Kennedy or Kathleen, he calls her Kathy, was receptive to the ideas I was presenting. I always found it easier to write than to develop as a way to present what my vision was for something. If you're developing material, you're having to advocate for ideas in the abstract, which is such a difficult thing to do at this point in my career. I would rather just to write it out and know that I might be wasting my time if it's not going to be made. But at least I know if it is made, it's going to adhere to a format and structure that I would like to dedicate my time to. So yeah, right here, she's receptive to the ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So that's number one.
There's another question and another line where he mentions that they're sort of making it up as they go.
Yeah.
So somewhere, but I want to handle two things. Like, one, Lord Vader, no one said that they couldn't enjoy the fucking show. No one has said that. Let people enjoy what they want to enjoy. Yes, they can enjoy it. They can enjoy whatever show they like. If they think it's good, more power to them. We have issues with it, but okay, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then second point to that was even in that paragraph, just how he worded it, he just wants to write. He basically, in so many words, is saying, I don't want to control the abstract. I don't want to be in control of development. I want to just write. So for them, again, he's saying, I don't want her job in so many words. Mm. He's basically saying, I don't want her job.
But this is where I come to the whole Civil War thing again. What? He's gone to Kathy for everything by the looks of things. Anything and everything, he's running through her. Yeah. And she's receptive to the ideas. How much more, how clearer do you fucking need it? Honestly, how fucking clearer? This is from the horse's fucking mouth.
Yeah, but it's corporate speak. Basically,
yeah, it's marketing material.
He's playing lip service. So I'm so if Kathleen Kennedy was not in any control, why didn't he just say Bob Iger? Why didn't he say Bob, whatever that other Bob was who took over briefly for Iger?
And then there is that question, what I mentioned before, where he does say that they've sort of been making it up as they go along. Do you honestly think they could put together a show let's say, Wandavision, writing one episode at a time without having an overall goal or vision for it? No wonder tracking fobs just got completely dropped from episode 1 to episode 2, and the lore keepers, Pablo Hidalgo and Dave Filoni, can't even fucking keep their fucking dicks in their pants when they see Ahsoka, and they're just, who cares about tracking fobs? Fucking, it's so stupid.
Turn your brain off.
It's okay. It's okay. It's fine for Star Wars for the moment. They'll figure it out. How much damage do they have to do before they figure it out is my question. How much do they actually have to create to have to retcon before they figure it out? It's so stupid. The concepts that people come up with to try and justify this or to write this for them. The amount of people that I've seen, whether it be on Twitter, in my comments section, right, that actually come up with, now, there's nothing wrong with theorizing, right? There's nothing wrong with coming up with a theory. For example, I'll give you an example. I had someone, we'll get back to this in just 1 second. I had a person in my comment section, because I made a point that Grogu and R2-D2 in that final scene of Mandalorian were standing there with 30 seconds to a minute of screen time. No dialogue was taking place, but there was beeps and boops and, so cute sort of thing, right? My question was, why are these two having sort of this interaction? Everybody else in this room is just standing there, looking at each other, dumbfounded. Let's just watch my droid and this thing talk to each other for a minute. And Luke's not asking any fucking questions. You know what somebody said in my comment section? The reason why they had that interaction was because
they
R2
said that.
What?
I was going to guess what they said.
Oh, go on.
They said that Sailor Venus is kind of underrated.
You mean Sailor Mercury?
What is this? Some kind of Suicide Squad? Shut up.
Well,
fucking Star Wars fans, y'all are retarded. Y'all need fucking therapy. All right,
but no one's questioning. Okay, here it is.
I'll just tell you what he said in my chat, just quickly. Let me just finish this.
Okay, all right.
He said that the reason why they had this interaction was because R2 was the one that got Grogu out of the temple during Order 66.
What? He was
My immediate question to him was, who confirmed that? Where is that? Where did you see that? And how has that been confirmed by anyone? Right. My second thing to him was, how is that possible when R2 was with Anakin the entire time?
Yeah, that's like he wasn't even there, was he?
Well, he was in his ship when he went to Mustafar. Like,
no, I'm saying in the temple. Like, I don't even remember R2 even being there.
I don't know. This person actually came back, and credit to him, actually admitted that it was just his own idea, and I just had to laugh. I'm like, because he was calling me an idiot. He was calling me a fucking moron. All of this kind of shit. Like, hang on a second. You're writing this for them. You're writing it for them. You dumb fuck.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Like the theorizing is basically like you can have your theories, but when you're writing the plot for them, when you're trying to answer the questions that should be answered, it doesn't have to be deeply involved or anything like that. All it could have been is just a line of dialogue here and there to explain how Grogu got out of the temple, because they said he was at the temple. Okay, which answer me this: two things. One, okay. Yoda at 100. This is according to even Disney canon, Star Wars canon. So, like, no one at me saying that this is EU and that's no longer canon. But at 100, Yoda was training Padawans. He was training future Jedi Masters. And at 50, Grogu can't learn and not put random shit in his mouth. So if he was at the temple, it would mean that he would have been the equivalent of a baby.
Yep.
So how is he learning binary? How is he even able to communicate? Who taught him to communicate?
That's the best straw man That's
my God.
Right. That's the best straw man I've seen all year.
You're frustrated. People are trying to defend. They should not be defended.
I'm gonna do a Lyndon. I'm gonna go now.
Can I? All right, bye. I hope you'd stay for the video, but if you gotta go, you gotta go.
Goldman, look, here's the thing about Goldman. When I did the Ray video, he was cool. He didn't call anyone a racist or sexist. He put his points out there. I thought a lot of them were dumb, but at least he had his points, and it's one of the better videos I've ever seen on YouTube. From what I've seen of this new one, the opening's up calling everybody a racist and a sexist. So, yeah, he loses mad points. All right, peace out, y'all. Snyder Cut, 48 days or some shit. Much love. Bye.
Later. Let me just say, Lord Vader, that coming up with bullshit justifications and actually writing the story for Lucasfilm is not defending Mandalorian. It's actually trying to come up with reasons why it's good. Like, also, again, how do you defend? How honestly do you defend how bad the Stormtroopers are? And nobody in the chat better say they were really bad in the originals, or they were don't give me that shit. Don't. I've talked about that a million times. There was reasons why the Stormtroopers were cucked for certain reasons in the originals, and going up against teddy bears and things like that, not so good. But whatever.
Here's the thing on Lord Vader's comment: aren't you frustrated because you're being called a dumbass and stuff, or not? That's something to get frustrated about. When people say, Rhino, you're a dumbass.
I'm being called a dumbass for calling out a specific scene that really doesn't make any sense. And there's nothing out there to say that what that guy was saying was true. And again, like I said, credit to him for admitting to me that he just came up with it on his own. But
jeez.
So we went from
what a dickhead for calling me a dickhead for calling it out in the first place, when he's got to be the one to justify it. He's got to be the one to write it for John and Dave. Like, and again, I keep coming back to hyperspace with these fucking people. Another comment that I had on my fucking video is that I'm trying to justify physics in Star Wars. Ridiculous. I showed you that comment, Tim.
Yeah,
I'm trying to justify.
That's not what's going on.
To this guy and I go, physics? You mean law, right?
Yeah.
Because law are the rules. The rules for this universe, so that we can suspend our disbelief and so that we can fucking actually create this real world in our heads.
But
it's not
Rhino,
about this fucking world being real. We're discussing real physics in Star Wars, so you're a fucking idiot.
But Rhino, let's back up.
Fuck you dumb fucking cunt! I'm sick of being called a piece of shit because I'm the one that keeps actually noticing the outpoints in the shit you love. And it's fine to like it.
But Rhino, let's back up. Let's pretend
it's 1:30 in the morning.
Let's pretend you've only seen The Mandalorian and you're a person and you've never seen any other Star Wars, right? What would you think when you're in that episode with the 3 Mandalorian people, Bo-Katan and the other 2 jabronis, and they're on the cargo ship with Din Djarin, and this whole plot is around they're trying to, get away from the planet so they can jump. Now, there is a thing where they can't even hit their thrusters because of some policy around the docks, but that has nothing to do with this. They're trying to escape. The Imperials are, whatever. They don't jump. But then later in the series, you see the cruiser jump. You don't even need to know Star Wars lore to say, wait a minute, that's inconsistent. I really need to turn my brain off to accept that. I mean, just in the show itself, this is shit writing. It's shit continuity.
I just wanted to say hi to No Cookie. I saw her in the chat. We've already discussed the 4th episode. Is that what you're talking about there?
She's talking about WandaVision.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't watched the 3rd episode. Yeah, so we already discussed that at the beginning of the stream, so we haven't spoiled anything if you don't go back and watch it.
Okay. After that beautiful rant, I just want to point out one thing in the paragraph that you kind of have highlighted with that little bit of Filoni's name there.
That's the next big thing, yeah.
Yeah, that I pointed out in the group chat we're part of. Like, he says, I was paired up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He didn't say he paired himself up with Dave Filoni. He said, I was paired up. Now, who could have paired him up with Dave Filoni?
Yeah, and he didn't form a faction with Filoni, right? He doesn't say that.
No.
An alliance, like in the Office episode, they were put together.
Mm-hmm.
In all honesty, Kathy probably put them 2 together because in her mind she said, well, gosh, Filoni's been around. Favreau is, kind of new to Star Wars, so I'm going to put him with Dave, and they can work together. I mean, come on. The fact that they came together on their own, how does that even work? I don't go to work and say, hey, I'm going to, get with this person and say, we're going to work on this project together. We don't get to pick our own work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The other thing too, just going back to your frustrating comment, Lord Vader, about me being frustrated with it. You can understand why I'd get frustrated when I talk about something like hyperspace in the sequel trilogy and everybody's standing behind me and next to me and with me on the exact points that I'm making. And then I make those exact same points for The Mandalorian, but yet now no one's standing behind me anymore, whether or not they're calling me a hater, whether or not they're calling me a gatekeeper, whether or not they're calling me a retarded piece of shit, right? Or not. They're no longer standing behind me or next to me because I'm now criticizing something that they like, whereas they were actually agreeing with me in other stuff that I was criticizing for the exact same things. So you can understand how frustrating that would be. And especially when, and I've mentioned it before, we're now securing a KK contract extension, right? Whether you like it or not, and whether or not it was already going to happen or not. If there was even a 1% chance that she was ever going to lose her job at the end of this contract, that 1% is now gone. Absolutely gone. Like, I just... everybody goes...
Yeah, there's no scenario here where the High Republic is negatively viewed and, the first book is apparently selling, but the second and third, and then they cancel it. There's no, scenario where, it fails, she's out of here. They're going to milk The Mandalorian and Baby Yoda for all they can. There's a rumor they're changing fucking Galaxy's Edge to be, more around The Mandalorian. There's footage of Baby Yoda walking around the streets. So, yeah, she ain't going nowhere.
Now, this is the other thing too. I understand that there is the normie crowd out there and they're going to watch something just to like it. I mean, my mum mentioned to me the other day that she watched Wonder Woman 84. And she was like, oh, it was really good. We went back to the 80s and they were wearing all the clothes and the colors and this and that. And she was telling me, she was raving about it. She loved it. And I'm sitting there knowing what I know, going, just trying to keep my mouth shut. Yep. It's not that bad. Yeah. Like, I understand that there are those people out there, but again, all those people that I thought that were standing with me when I was mentioning all those other things from the sequels, I didn't think that they were quite normies, to the point where a lot of them, well, if we look at the definition of how that's actually working, well, then yeah, they are. And I understand that these people out there, they might understand the lore a little bit more than those normies out there. But I just don't get it. It's frustrating. And the other thing too, with this whole article, there's a section in there. I don't know if it's there on the screen, but there's a section in there where he says that, there's a time between the sequels and the originals that they've got to play with, and how effectively it is going to be leading into the
he
the sequel trilogy.
At one point in this article, he says that they have to work with existing Star Wars material. Now, if the EU is decanonized, what could possibly be the current existing Star Wars material? And that would include the Disney Star Wars movies. So for people to think that they're going to they're going to do a course correction is, to me, laughable. To me, laughable at this point. There's not going to be any course correction. Like, I even retweeted someone, and people still won't believe it, of something that Jon Favreau himself posted about. He's first there was Boba Fett, or Jango Fett, then there was Boba Fett. Now there's a new gunslinger, and we're gonna see after the fall of the Empire, basically Return of the Jedi, to
here it is,
the emergence of the First Order. Literally posted it himself. So it's not someone else posting this shtick. Favreau is posting it, and people are still refusing to believe that the sequels are going to stay around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and before we read this, one other point on normies, the thing is, if you're a normie, you're going to eat it up, whatever they put on the screen, right? As long as it's what they got. But it's not mutually exclusive to satisfy people like us and normies. So the fact that they didn't even try to satisfy the people who buy merchandise and talk about it like we are now, that's what that tells you what you know, and fuck them. But here it is. Here's at least one of the parts. Are you concerned, having placed? Yeah, thanks, Biggles. Are you concerned, having placed the story right in the midst of the saga? It's a fucking saga. With the latest films having revealed Skywalker's future, that you're at all penned in narratively. And he says, we have a tremendous amount of freedom afforded to us because of the gap in time between the films. So this is in between films, not prequel and classic, between classic and Disney. Dave Filoni and I are in constant discussion regarding how each story choice is impacted by and would impact existing Star Wars material. Which is bullshit, number one, because they've already contradicted.
Even if Favreau said that he wants to pull from the EU, that's not existing Star Wars material.
No.
And I've made the point that they shouldn't be pulling from the EU because it's decanonized because of creative fucking freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what creative freedom means? It means creating new characters. Now, yeah, you can. Everyone in the chat can say to me, "Well, they did create new characters. We just didn't like them." Yes, correct, but it still doesn't justify them taking fucking EU characters. Again, there was talk about the rumor about KOTOR being remade. Oh man, that's dangerous. That's because if they ruin Revan. If they ruin not to say that they haven't already ruined an EU character in some way, shape, or form, but if they ruin Revan, there'll be hell to pay.
Mm-hmm.
There will be hell to pay.
And they've already ruined so many. Wedge, probably my favorite character. In the first book, in the Cuck Wendig book, he got captured and they cucked him out and. That's it. And he's still a fucking badass 30 years after Return of the Jedi in the EU. So just one example. Right.
So Mara Jade can't become canon because what they've done
doesn't make sense.
Let me just say this. If they wanted to pull that character in and change her entire story, yeah, they could do that. Should they do that? Fuck no, they should not do that, especially with a character like Mara Jade. They shouldn't be doing that with any characters or any stories for that matter. For example, episode 1 of season 2 of The Mandalorian, where we get that KOTOR story ripoff with the crate dragon, that shouldn't have happened. I'm sorry, but when you decanonize something and you say, and then you just got to cherry pick from it, and we're just supposed to be okay with that, but then when they cherry pick from these things, they actually cuck them or they fuck them in some way. They do damage. It's not just a matter of, and this is where I talk about, you know, the damage that they've done in the sequels. I'm sorry to say they've done the same amount of damage to the lore, not to characters, to the lore in Mando. Tracking fobs. Can anyone in the chat explain to me how a tracking fob works? Can anyone? And then why did it get dropped? And why are we putting now normal tracking devices on ships in season 2?
Yeah, we're not talking about theories.
Why?
We're talking about
let me say this too. Grogu's bounty has gone, what, 10 times? How many tracking fobs do you think are going to be active for that fucking child now? If the bounty's gone up so fucking much, you don't think that there's bounty hunters out there that have got tracking fobs that are just going to fucking find this thing in a heartbeat because that's how fucking easy it is? Like, okay, so does the Luke Skywalker scene at the end of that make tracking fobs better? That's my question. Does seeing Ahsoka kick some ass and not really act like a Jedi, act more like she's dabbling in the dark side a little bit, which is, for me, a little bit out of character, my personal opinion. Does seeing Ahsoka fix tracking fobs? Does that fix the hyperspace damage? Like, again, we got a ship that jumps into hyperspace from atmosphere. So why do we have a blockade at the beginning of episode 1? Why do the ships on Hoth don't just lift off and poof, away they go? What like why? What, like, again, we were asking these questions. Why didn't we use a holdo maneuver on the Death Star? So why can't I ask the same fucking question here? Huh? Because it's the fucking Mandalorian and majority of Star Wars fans love it, so I better suck it up.
Oh, no, I know. It's
shit.
not woke, Rhino. It's not woke.
Oh, it's not woke. I see.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. That makes hyperspace fucking and let's not talk about their own lore and canon in regards to Darksabers, which I just dropped my video on. The Darksaber, Dave Filoni is directly involved with this series, and he can't even keep his own canon in. But Luke Skywalker makes it okay, or Bo-Katan, just seeing her makes it okay, or Ahsoka, just seeing her makes it okay. The Stormtroopers being absolutely fucking retarded, dumb fucks that are supposed to be trained soldiers from birth or from a childhood being taken from their families. However, whatever series of Stormtroopers you want to go through, they were trained fucking soldiers, not dickhead fucking retards. Are we just okay with that?
Well, obviously,
because
it's look, like I said, I've checked out a long time ago. And I'm not gonna lie, I will find I will have some personal glee when it's announced. Now, I could be wrong. I will admit if I'm wrong if it happens, but I don't believe that'll be the case, and I believe that it'll be quietly announced that Kathleen Kennedy is staying, because I mean they just announced 11 projects to include spin-offs of The Mandalorian and the Kenobi series that people are looking forward to. Now, who in the right mind would be coming in at this late stage and taking over that helm? I'm just saying, look at it from a business standpoint. Forget about how our feelings of Kathleen Kennedy. Just look at it from a business standpoint. What person is going to, in their right mind, will be coming in and going, yeah, I'm going to take over 11 projects to include 2 films.
Yeah.
Right when she's leaving. They're not going to do that. I'm not saying that she's going to be there necessarily there forever, but they're going to extend their contract maybe like another 3 years, because you have to include the filming for Rogue Squadron and Indiana Jones 5.
I think it was Lord Vader again. No, I don't know.
Let's look at it from that common sense standpoint. Just that.
Yeah.
Forget our feelings about the Mandalorian. Forget our feelings about Kathleen Kennedy. So look at it from that common sense standpoint. No one would be coming in to take over at a late stage like this.
Well, not only that,
coming out.
Not only that, but like people try to compartmentalize this, but she is presiding over success recently. You know, not really the High Republic, but the Mandalorian. We don't like it, but it has generated interest more than anything else they've done since they procured the brand. You know, so she's presiding over that. She is the president, whatever the fuck her title is. She's over a successful company right now. Why would she be pushed out? It just doesn't work that way.
And that's what I've pointed out to people. Basically, the only really true failure, granted, the profits dwindled from movie to movie to movie, basically, for the films. But the only true failure under her has been Solo. Everything else,
major.
Everything else has made at least reasonable profits, or has generated interest.
Yeah, not just at the box office, but that movie behind the scenes was a complete clusterfuck. You know,
nearly every production, nearly everything that she's done with Star Wars behind the scenes has been a fuck. Like, she's nearly fucked everything. There's been reshoots in nearly everything. Like, it's been a disaster. But the other point that I want to make is, okay, yes, there was some goodwill. Well, not some. There was a fucking shitloads of goodwill that came back after that Luke Skywalker scene. I can't believe it, right? But good for you. But let me just say that, again, the ship comes crashing down pretty damn hard when you get Pablo Hidalgo coming out and attacking Star Wars Theory. Now, again, a lot of you know how I feel about Star Wars Theory. I'm not going to go into that. You all know I don't really like the guy. I think he's... Anyway, I'm not going to get into it. But you get Pablo Hidalgo come out. Now we've got Justina Ireland, one of the biggest racists I've ever seen, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah, major.
And what's the other one? Ariel, what's her first name? I can't remember.
Christine.
The one that does the High Republic show or whatever it is. Again, the ship comes crashing down pretty hard when you see, or should I say, the Kathleen Kennedy faction coming out and attacking the fans. How ridiculous. How ridiculous.
You know who's in the KK faction? Anyone who does something I don't like.
Yeah.
That's it. So,
and can I just say, in regards to the faction thing, yeah, okay, it would be pretty cool if that was actually going on, but wanting something to happen and the realities of, I think, things like that, especially in a big company like this, really? I mean, Kathleen Kennedy is the most powerful woman in Hollywood, but yet she's got no power over her own company. That doesn't make any sense to me. Does it make any sense to anyone?
No.
I mean, that really the most powerful woman in Hollywood. I've heard that, quote unquote. Yeah, but yet she's got no power over her own company. Interesting.
So there's another part here that we need to read.
Go on.
This is what you were getting at earlier, and this tells you a lot of what you need to know, and you being second person plural in general. Did you have this arc planned out from the very beginning? Specifically, was the appearance of Luke Skywalker, revealing that the story was essentially a few years after Return of the Jedi, it's more than a few, always a set idea from the jump, or something that you arrived on after working with the material? And Favreau answers no. The story unfolded as I wrote it. The Mandalorian inherits a great deal from existing Star Wars stories, and when I write, the context is always a consideration. It became clear that within the established continuity, certain things were likely to transpire. So they're basically saying they brought him in, you know, as a, hey, look, it's Luke Skywalker. They didn't have this planned out. A lot of people were predicting it, but
again, he's just proven right there from the horse's mouth himself that he's making it up as he goes along, basically. And let me just take you back for a second. When we heard that Jon Favreau was coming up with this idea for The Mandalorian, I thought he already had 3 seasons or something written. I remember hearing like he's actually got a lot of this Mandalorian story already written, and he's gone to them and presented it to them directly. Now, again, go back, and how was it promoted? It was promoted as a bounty hunter series. We're going to see the underworld. There's going to be no Force users. What did we get? Not a bounty hunter series, not an underworld series, stormtroopers and Force users. You know, if that also doesn't lend credence to the fact that they're sort of coming up with this as they go along, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say because, you know, okay, it feels more like Star Wars than any other Star Wars we've had. I don't know how you can say that when you hear techno music going on while there's a fucking fight scene in the middle of the Star Wars universe, but okay, feels more like Star Wars than anything that we've had. It still breaks the law, just like the Disney trilogy did. It doesn't destroy characters. Yeah, okay. It might repair characters. No, it didn't repair characters. It showed the characters how they should have been shown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the story unfolded. Basically, like how the story unfolded in the Disney Star Wars movies, where they realized, hey, like it was basically stupid for us to kill off Snoke in the second movie. So it unfolded that the Emperor was still alive. So it unfolded that we are going to introduce Luke in the series. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now there was somebody.
Like, Favreau might be. I mean, of the two, I would prefer I definitely prefer Favreau over Filoni, but there it is.
Lesser of two evils.
Yeah, pretty much at this point. I mean, like I think like of the two, like I said, like I prefer Favreau. I mean, I do. He actually has proven that he is in a way, a good filmmaker, a relatively good storyteller. I mean, like basically, he's essentially the reason the MCU kicked off with Iron Man. So I would just say, I'm not no cookies. I'm not pointing anyone out specifically or anything like that, and I'm not trying to imply that you or there's other people in the chat that enjoy The Mandalorian. I'm not trying to say that you guys are normies or not Star Wars fans at all, but I just don't see the same criticism for The Mandalorian as people had for the sequel trilogy, and I don't understand why. Because to me, it's plain to see, and I just don't get that. So please don't take anyone in the chat for that matter. Don't take this as a direct. Like, I'm just passionate about it, as you can tell. Thank you. This is a good friend of mine, actually, in the chat here. He loves my passion. Thanks, dude. But yeah, like, I don't know. It's just the way that I feel about Star Wars right now, and it has been frustrating. Where, like I said, I've had my criticisms have stayed consistent, and I just don't understand how I cannot have the support or the backing of the people that I thought that I would have had the support or backing from. That's all. Anyway.
Are we done with this article?
Yes, you can take that down. Thank you. Thank you.
There's some other stuff in there, but those are the 3 main points. So
I just had a back and forth on Twitter because people I love how people say there's all this infighting, there's all this sniping. Let's be united, things like that. And I'm like, but these people also have no clue as what brought about the sniping, and that was basically people just saying Mando has issues. And we're pointing out the same issues as you said, Rhino, that we were pointing out in the movies, as far as lore breaking, as far as storytelling, things like that. But because now the consensus is this is a show more people like than dislike within Star Wars, they essentially became the very thing they criticized for 3 years with the TLJ defenders. Not everyone, but there were those who basically said, just turn your brain off, just let us enjoy it. It's why are you bashing my life for the show? Calling us EU elitists, telling us we're invalidating their opinions. I'm just giving my opinion. How's that invalidating yours? You can still give your fucking opinion.
I've seen some people saying that lore and continuity don't matter if there's an emotional payoff.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even Matt Martin, who works for Lucasfilm, guess what, people? He's part of the story group.
All fake anyway. Yeah.
That you claim is upset over Luke Skywalker being fixed in The Mandalorian, said that canon doesn't matter.
Literally, you know what that's saying, Rhino? That's like saying, as long as you get this great nut, it doesn't matter if you're fucking your wife or just some random bitch. That's basically what people are saying.
Yep.
So,
and again, I can't believe I actually have to say this, and I shouldn't have to say it, but it is okay to like it. I just, if you're one of those people that did deep dive into the sequels, and for you, it wasn't just the fact that it was the character destruction. You had a problem with if you had a problem with Hux being, thrown around a room by Snoke, if you had a problem with the Your Mama joke, if you had a problem with Luke being able to grab lightsabers, if you had a problem with hyperspace skipping, if you had a problem with the Holdo maneuver, if you had a problem with, I'm seeing the same law-breaking shit in Mandalorian. I'm seeing it with my own eyes, and I don't know how other people aren't seeing it, and especially when I point it out to people, and they go, yeah, but I still like it. So does that mean you're like, yeah, but I still like the sequels? Is it the same thing?
Well, so
because the character destruction's there, that makes it worse. So that's okay to criticize. It's okay to criticize the law-breaking stuff in the sequels because they destroyed characters in the sequels, but because they haven't destroyed characters in Mando, it's not okay to criticize the law-breaking stuff. Is that how that works?
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it.
Pretty much. And I'm saying like that's really the only difference is because they like it, and it's like what, because it's no character destruction, and to them it's not woke. So, and because of that, even though that I think that's a stretch, I think that's a little bit of a stretch to criticize it. Now we're in the wrong, but we're criticizing the same things from the movies.
Yeah,
there's only two differences, and it's like that basically is that's all there is to it. And Lethal pointed out he liked Wonder Woman 84. Steph and I basically shitted on it when we did our little live stream review after watching it.
Yeah,
I don't care if you like the movie. I had major issues with two of the characters, which basically brought it down for me.
But the other thing that sort of piles onto this a little bit is the image, I suppose, that this is getting back to Lucasfilm, that this is giving back to Lucasfilm. Lethal Lightning, as opposed to how many people are actually saying that this was a shit movie. He even says it's a shit movie, but he enjoyed it. It was popcorn fun for him, right?
Yeah.
It's different with The Mandalorian when a 7-minute scene can give you a 9.9 out of 10 on IMDb for one of the worst written episodes of television I've ever seen, let alone Star Wars I've ever seen. And that gets back to them. Now, again, I've heard people say to me, well, we know that IMDb's full of shit and all of this kind of stuff. Yeah, we do know that. But the studios think that that's the gospel, don't they? And they look at that and go, fuck yeah, we're hitting home runs. We're smashing them out of the park.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that sort of frustrates me a little bit, because again, I thought that there was a lot of people standing with me, standing behind me, united in this thing that we want Star Wars fixed. We don't want just Skywalker fixed. We don't want just, Leia and Han fixed. Yes, we want those things fixed, but we want the entire universe of Star Wars fixed. I mean, so what if they were to do something in Mandalorian that actually states that Palpatine, I'm trying to figure out how I can actually even put this together. I don't even know how I can actually put that into words. I got nothing now. Like that's anyway. Go on,
Okay.
Mara.
Well, just I don't know if we're gonna get to the video or not, but like just basically just kind of like hammer home like one more point just to show that they're tying things into the movies. The what Gideon is doing with the Dark Troopers. Basically, the Operation Cinder is tied into the novels, which tie into the movies.
Correct. It's the lead up to the Force Awakens.
So I don't know how much more like you can say they're tying stuff into existing Star Wars material, like he said, the books and the movies. I mean, they pulled Cobb Vanth.
Yep.
That's the dumbest fucking name I've ever heard.
And they retconned his story as well.
When they say his name.
They retconned his story as well.
Yeah, but they pulled his character from the books, Aftermath books.
They've referenced Canto Bight in season 1. They've referenced bringing order to the galaxy a fair few times throughout season 2, referencing, well, a lot of people are assuming they're referencing the First Order. They do only say bringing order or people want order. But it's definitely there. So I just again, Star Wars is dead. Well, it's not dead. The EU still exists, and real Star Wars is still very much out there, and I think it's still very much alive. But Disney Star Wars isn't Star Wars. It's bad writing, it's bad television, it's bad movies with the label of Star Wars on it, and that ain't Star Wars. They try and make it in the Star Wars universe, but they don't abide by the rules. And yes, if the dickhead that mentioned the physics thing in my comments section of my video, it's called law. It's called the universe having rules, and it basically allows each and every one of us to be able to suspend our disbelief to watch the fucking show. So, and again, this law's been established since 1977. You want to look at hyperspace? The law for that was created by George in 1977 when Han says to Luke, "This ain't like dusting crops, boy." Like, there are established rules. If you want to say that I'm being ridiculous because I keep picking at the shit because I'm picking at your beloved Mandalorian, suck my dick. Suck my fucking dick.
Fat tits.
Fat tits.
Just fulfilling a request. Sorry.
I saw that. I was waiting for you.
I saw that.
I was waiting for an opening in there.
And no, I haven't been watching Attack for Titan.
Attack on Titan. Show some
I just wanted to say it like that so that somebody would correct me. I was actually hoping that he would do it in the chat, but yeah.
But what episode am I even on? I don't know. I started watching season 3. Attack on Titan. Nothing else.
G'day, Max. I would say WandaVision definitely, for me, it's not woke at all. If that's what you're asking about there. And I think WandaVision's actually pretty good so far. The first 4 episodes, first 2, if they had have only dropped 1, I would have been out, and I'm glad that they didn't because I'm now quite invested in it. So if you did get up to Endgame, it would be worth just dabbling into WandaVision and just having a look. It's quite compelling. But yeah, if you do want to get my thoughts on this latest episode, you can go back to the beginning of the stream, and we had a good discussion about it, and I really, really liked it. Hey, Steph's in the house. Hello, Steph.
Mm-hmm.
You're being told.
You can repeat it if you want.
No, you haven't been telling me that I'm basically a dickhead for criticizing Mando.
Or that you're frustrated with people. Right?
Yeah.
If we were at all like
Jon
in any way easily frustrated by people defending something that we didn't like, I mean, how many people would have been out of Star Wars when people were defending the prequels?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, look at that. Just look at that situation. I'm not. I'm going to be the first to say that. Okay, first off, I will preface this by saying this: I would gladly, willingly watch the prequels over the Disney movies. I'm not saying that means they're good. I'm saying if I had to choose between the two, I would watch the prequels. But that being said, I think the prequels are overall mediocre, especially compared to the originals. But I had no problem with people liking them.
Well, to Steeg's point, not necessarily about the prequels, because I think he's a big lover of them, but he has this point about a lot of bad EU books. They still feel like Star Wars, right? And the Disney trilogy just didn't. I think it took me about, I'm not kidding you, 15 minutes into TFA to say, wow, I'm not feeling this. It doesn't feel like Star Wars. And I was really like nervous the whole time. Like I just wanted the movie to be over. I don't know. Even when Han and Chewie showed up, because we'd seen it in the trailer already. And I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, that's how they sucker people in.
2 hours ago.
Because that, if you watch the reactions, like when they dropped the trailer at like whatever event going, that got the biggest reaction out of people when they showed Han and Chewie, and Han saying Chewie were home.
Yeah.
That's sucking people in. I will admit that I was one of the suckers because I gave TFA a chance. I gave TFA a chance, and then basically I was like out when I saw TLJ. But so that's how they got people in, because they knew they couldn't bank on just the new characters they created.
And you know what redeems the prequels for me? Like, because you're right, they're mediocre at best, but looking at the story of Palpatine, man, that cements it for me, because I love that story. It's seemingly like a simplistic plot, but it really isn't. It's so much deeper. And just how he's such a two-faced shithead to everyone, and then he's a Sith Lord in the background. It's just it's great. That's how I've learned to appreciate the prequels a lot more over the years.
That's funny thing about Mara is that like she kind of liked bits or sort of enjoyed The Force Awakens, and she's an EU person. Interesting, isn't it? Now, I just want to make the point. First of all, I just want to know in the chat, one, if you're a Star Trek fan. Two, if you're not. One's if you're a Star Trek fan. I know, Tim, you are. Mara, you ever been a Star Trek person?
I wouldn't say I'm a Star Trek person, but I mean, I did enjoy watching episodes of the original series. I have seen all 6 of the original movies. But I never really got invested in Star Trek.
Yeah, you're like me. I'm the same. Watched all the movies and everything.
Yeah, well, for me, for me, I was into Star Wars from as far back as I can remember. Literally, probably 2 years old, and it started showing in syndication on a few different channels when I was that age. And I remember, to keep me busy, my parents plopped me down on the ground and said, "Hey, watch this," and I'm like, "Well, what is it?" "Oh, it's Star Trek. It's like Star Wars." Okay. And it was the Gorn episode, with the lizard where he fights the lizard. So that's always going to be one of my favorite episodes. But yeah, and then I started watching it all the time and started getting toys and books. And so, honestly, if I go up into my attic, I probably have half as much Star Trek stuff as I do Star Wars, which means I have a lot. So yeah, I'm, pretty big, huge fan of the franchise, actually. So,
all right. Now I want to know in the chat a Y for yes and an N for no. Has anybody watched Star Trek Discovery?
Wait, no. What is the binary again?
New.
Sorry,
is 2 is no or
no? Well, for this question, it's Y is yes and N is no. For the first one,
okay, gotcha.
1 and 2. I'm just separating the letters and the numbers. There's a reason behind this, everyone.
Well, my social media memories recently popped up, and I found the one where they announced, "Hey, new Star Trek show coming on this new streaming service," and I was like, "Yeah!" and all excited. I was jaded before the shit even came out, because I don't know if you ever heard this, but they fired the showrunner like before the show had even come out, like before they really started getting into it. creating it, and I'm like, that's interesting. I wonder why. Well, because I think he wanted to actually tell stories and not tell woke, moral lessons and stuff. Not just moral lessons, but like Greg always says, it's just a bunch of people crying in hallways and corridors. That's what the show is.
Okay,
so I watched 1 second of that show.
I'm glad you bring that up. So from everything that I've heard, and a lot of my sources on how bad Star Trek Discovery comes from Gary Nerdrotic. Thank you, Gary. You're an excellent person, excellent creator. Thank you for everything you do. He's been saying how bad Star Trek Discovery is, and nearly everyone that I've actually spoken to who has seen it has mentioned how bad it is.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that will fix that.
What's that?
The one thing that will fix Star Trek Discovery.
Luke Skywalker?
No. Captain Kirk.
Maybe.
That's that. And if you don't understand where I'm going with this by now,
Captain Kirk's my favorite captain, but I have a bias since I grew up on the original. So,
but all I'm saying is they can still do the crying in the hallways. They can still do the they them scene. They can still do all of that woke garbage and everything, and still have really bad writing, really bad storytelling and everything. But as long as they put Captain Kirk in the captain's chair, everything's now okay. That's the point that I'm trying to make. It would that fix it for anyone who is watching Star Trek?
The only thing that I would say is
Captain Kirk in. I know it's 900 years in the future, but there's ways around that.
The only thing that I would say is like if they brought back Captain Kirk and did not cuck him, it may fix the show. However, they would do that, and two, they're really not going to do that because Captain Kirk slept with just about everyone he encountered. So
is the biggest, whitest, straightest male in sci-fi history.
So, like, they're not solely because of that, they're not going to bring the character in.
No, I know that they're not, but I'm just saying, like, my point is like, the Luke Skywalker scene. That's my point in Mandalorian. That's what I'm trying to equate that to. The writing and everything. It might not be as bad as Star Trek Discovery, because from what I've seen, Star Trek Discovery is pretty fucking badly written and just bad. But, Mando's badly written. It's badly paced. It's badly... I don't even know what the plot of Mandalorian is.
It's basically driving Baby Yoda.
It is, but now Baby Yoda's gone. Okay. So we get on the new thread of him now having the Darksaber and him having to fight Bo-Katan for how many episodes are you going to drag that out for? Is he gonna run away from Bo-Katan and everyone's going to need him to do a side quest just so that he can move on and keep running away from her?
We can level up. We can level up for the final boss fight.
All right. Okay.
But even if you rightly pointed out in your video that Dave Filoni just doesn't even remember his own continuity.
And Greg
on 2 occasions, just taking it.
Yeah, Greg is right. Lost Jedi 22 is right. The Strange New World show is the Captain Pike show. That is, I think, what they're going to use to try to quote unquote fix, Star Trek. And I think they'll continue to do woke stuff on Discovery, but it's quite possible they'll bring Kirk in on Strange New Worlds in some way, whether it's CGI like they did with Luke or something like that. Still not interested, but
I understand, Max. We definitely don't want Kirk in that show because they'll destroy him. But they wouldn't be able to. Like I said, it's 900 years in the future. I was trying to make a point in regards to how that equates to Mandalorian and how everyone would just go bang because Captain Kirk's in the show. Yep, it's a good show. Yep, I'm enjoying it. Yeah, it's got its problems, but I'm still enjoying it. Still really good. I'll still let Disney know how good it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make sure that, it maintains that 9 point, whatever.
I'm going to clip that out of context.
Which bit? What did I say?
All that positive stuff about the Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be like he's had a change of heart. But around Christmas, I put out this video I threw together in like an hour that made this very point that, there's a way to honorably bring back old characters. and I showed actually some Star Trek stuff from almost 30 years ago. Showed some Doctor Who stuff before it went full blown crazy, and then I showed Luke Skywalker, and then I showed Mark Hamill doing the voiceover for the Vector Prime TV commercial for a fucking book, and it was very emotional and amazing. And it's like, wow, that was a great way, to use a character, not just here he is and he's going to do a bunch of illogical stuff, not ask like, hey, who's this guy with Darth Vader armor on? Is that a Darksaber? Are these Mandalorians and stuff like that? So
I just
pretty good video. Check it out, everyone. It's like you can tell which one it is. It's like a Christmas themed one.
Yeah. I just want to reference this. Didn't Sabine win the Darksaber? No, she didn't. She found it. And then I noticed that you mentioned this after. No, she didn't fight anyone for it. She found it. She literally found it in Darth Maul's little cave thing. She went off. Kanan taught her how to use the Darksaber because she's going to have to be the one to wield it. And then go and watch my video. I just did a video on the Darksaber and how Dave Filoni can't keep his continuity in check. But that's only if it's going to, I know that you like the show Lord Vader. So if I'm going to offend you by actually criticizing something that you like, then I don't know, maybe you might want to watch it. But
answer Lethal's question might be mine.
Wow. You know what black panties mean, don't you?
They're not bad luck like cats.
No.
And
they're actually very good luck.
Yes.
And I honestly do have a pair.
Awesome. I can't wait to meet you, Mara.
Subscribe to Mara, everyone.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, the Darksaber. So she finds it. She hands it to Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan takes it, and in the moment that she takes it, she says that she received this from her sister once, which also doesn't make sense because
how did
Gar Saxon
get it?
Had it that whole time, and we never see Sir Teen give it to Bo-Katan in Clone Wars or Rebels. So
the only time I remember seeing Sabine.
Yeah, and then she turns it on and she says, "For my house and for Mandalore."
Yeah, but the only thing I ever see like Sabine like fighting, at least from what I remember, fighting in any way with the saber, and that's when she's training to use it. She's not fighting anyone. She has to train to like use it because she has to kind of use it whenever whatever final battle they're about to go into. So it's not like she had to fight to keep it. She just had to learn how to use it.
She actually does fight Saxon while he's in possession of the Darksaber, but she doesn't win. She actually cheats, blows up the ships, and it was all a ploy anyway. She was never actually fighting for the Darksaber or anything like that. And she never received the Darksaber after that. She didn't win that fight against Saxon. I understand that there is a rule in place that if you do beat that person, you do retain the Darksaber and essentially become a part of Mandalore. But to say that you now can't just hand it over for what? The sake of a plot point? Is that why? Because the only story plot point that you've got now is the Darksaber, and you need some sort of conflict there so that you can actually write another stupid 8 episodes?
Pretty much.
That's what it seems like to me. You've made a rule in the middle of your own lore and continuity. And Joseph, the rule of 2. They've fucked that. Apparently, it's 2 Sith to rule the rest of them. That's their new. Like, okay, all right, cool.
Pretty much.
This is why I say it's not Star Wars. It's not Star Wars. It's got the Star Wars label on it.
Pretty much.
Whatever. I'm probably not going to do this video. I'm sorry, guys. We've been going for 2 hours. I was actually hoping to get into it, but it was really
This is like the 3rd time we haven't done the video.
No. And I know it's short. Maybe we'll get into it next week.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can also have a few more people on to go through it with us, because it's always fun.
Yeah, I'm off next Friday too. So
going through those. It just depends on the news, really, because if, we've obviously got the episode next week, which will go through Wandavision again. And it just depends on the Star Wars news that comes out. And of course, you see how passionate I am and how much I love. This is the thing. I do love Star Wars, and I don't think anything will ever really take that love away for it. But I can't like this stuff. I don't like Mandalorian. I certainly don't love that. It's insulting to me. It's insulting to me.
Lethal's speaking. He's demanding the video.
Dude, you had an opportunity to stay and tell me that yourself, but you bitched out. So fuck you.
That was just a real fuck you.
Yeah. Bitch, do the video. Bitch, get off your couch.
Maybe we could do a part 1 and part 2.
It's a 5-minute video, and dude, I honestly, like, it was so funny when we were talking about it. I'm like, dude, we'll do a 5-minute video. Hopefully, we'll only go for an hour. Do a 5-minute video.
2:15 in.
It's bad, but yeah, the guy's an idiot anyway. He basically tries to justify how all right, I'll tell you what. I'll give you his opening line, because his opening line is hilarious. Oh, he's here. He came back. He's still got the link. The fucking asshole.
Bitch, I'm in bed. I just came here to tell you to do the video. Do the video. Bye. You said come in and tell you to do the video. Well, I did. So do the video.
Doesn't mean I'm going to do it.
Do the fucking video.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God. Yep.
Do the fucking video.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Seen better days.
He's trying to say that his dick's that big, but he's lying. All right. You're going to have to talk amongst yourselves, because before we get into this video, I'm going to go to the bathroom really quickly. So please do excuse me. I'm sorry the conversation sort of got stuck there. If you, I don't know, talk amongst yourselves, like I said. I'm sorry, guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Yep.
So, Star Wars.
So,
I don't know. It's, for me, I don't allow any of this stuff that's come out since 2015 to affect my love of the old stuff. I can effectively compartmentalize it. And I just finished rereading Legacy of the Force Betrayal. And man, what a great fucking book. I'm probably going to do a review on it with some pictures and stuff. But man, like, I had forgotten everything about it because I read it when it came out and read the second book. And then I kind of like dropped reading Star Wars at that point in my life because I had a lot going on. And but yeah, great book. And of course you see a mirror to the prequel trilogy and stuff there. Not exact, but I thought it was kind of clever how they did some of the analogies. So great book. And I can continue enjoying Star Wars that way. There's hundreds of books and comics to read over and over again. And by the time you get back to the beginning, you've forgotten everything. So it's like a new experience. So I'm not going to give up on the old stuff.
I'm not exactly going to give up either. I mean, eventually I might go back into like reading the EU, but right now I have basically books for class, and then I have
that's part of my issue back then.
Yeah, Sunsworn. I have a book called The Magician that Stieg recommended to me, and I also have rereading Death on the Nile since that movie's coming out. And even though I have a feeling that they're going to butcher that plot much like they did Murder on the Orient Express, I'm rereading the book. So,
right. But yeah, and I'm trying to read a lot of dystopian science fiction too. Reread, I should say.
Watch redo the Healer of Healer.
What's that?
Don't ask questions.
Wholesome family fun.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
It's anime porn.
Yeah.
Oh, hentai.
Not really hentai.
Not quite, but it is.
Yeah, episode 1 sets it up, but like what really kind of like makes you say, "Wow, they went there." Is episode 2.
Gotcha.
All right. 4:30 p.m. there. It's 2:30 a.m. here.
Must be in Europe.
Yeah,
Saturday-
10:30 a.m.
Saturday
here.
morning.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Please smash the like button if you've been enjoying the stream so far. I think it's been pretty
Get us
good.
to 40 likes, guys.
I got a little rage moment in there, which was nice. I haven't been able to rage about Star Wars for a little while because I've just been laughing at it. All right. So this video is called "The High Republic is not SJW" rant.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
He's lost me with the premise.
I'm literally gonna pause it after like the opening line. Let me just turn my volume up. Actually, I'll go full. It's gonna blow my head off. All right, you guys ready?
Republic is not SJW, and in this video, I explain why. If you believe that, you're probably stupid. By the way,
Wow.
So
Okay.
I'm going to explain in this video, like I know what he's trying to say there, but he's going to explain in this video why the High Republic isn't SJW. And if you believe that, you're probably stupid.
Well, yeah, replay that again. Replay that again. Exactly. He's saying he's stupid.
He's stupid. At the very beginning, man,
That's the first thing I noticed.
when I watched this video, I literally like Lethal sent this to me, right? And I literally watched the first 2 seconds and I lost it. I'm like, he just called himself an idiot.
Yeah, that moment you don't rewatch your own video, you know, and oh man,
Dude.
before you upload it.
Listen again, listen.
the High Republic is not SJW, and in this video, I explain why. If you believe that, you're probably stupid. By the way,
Oh man. Not only okay, taking aside the fact that you know if you're stupid or not for thinking it's woke or not woke, you're stupid for making yourself look stupid right here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh man! And just so that you all know, because you, if you weren't here at the beginning of the stream, this guy is the guy that Lethal did his 9-hour EFAP on, where he said that Rey wasn't a Mary Sue, and this guy gave us Rey being an engineer, hence her a pilot, hence why she's good at everything.
Yeah.
So I just thought that opening line is just so fucking funny.
It's gold.
Yeah. He's just gone completely against what he's... Anyway, if you believe that the High Republic isn't SJW, you're probably stupid. All right, let's continue.
wait, only about 31.2% of my viewers are subscribed to this channel. So if you like Star Wars and you don't want to be constantly lied to or manipulated by clickbait,
Lied to by clickbait.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see his reasons for why, first of all, the High Republic isn't SJW before we go, hang on, is this a clickbait video?
Yeah, exactly. With that provocative title.
Yeah, and then not only that,
We're watching it.
Being lied to. So hang on a second. My opinions are a lie to you? Okay, cool. Fucking idiot.
consider subscribing to the channel. Anyway, the High Republic is simply just not SJW. Now, you may be wondering, what makes someone like me so qualified to talk about SJW politics or the High Republic? I don't know. Maybe because I'm actually reading the books. Now, I'm only about...
Mara,
So
let me
who-
ask you a question.
You stayed at a Holiday Inn, so that makes you an expert.
Let me ask you a question. Should he be manscaping his eyebrows?
Well, at least like trimming the shrubbery in between them.
Okay.
I wonder how old he is. He's a little bit patchy around here. Anyway, let's not.
I've really seen yourself off in the video.
Let's talk about the content, not the person so much. Even though he is.
I
an
know, but
idiot.
at least clean yourself up a bit.
And he did call himself an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're probably stupid. He did call himself stupid at the beginning of his own video.
about 2/3 of the way through this book, if you can see, and I do have the next book.
Sorry, can I just ask, Mara,
Mm-hmm.
based on what you've seen, heard, and about the people that are writing the books,
Mm-hmm.
is the High Republic SJW to you, or woke, however you want to phrase it?
Well, okay. I will
Without
saying
reading it?
without reading it, I cannot say without reading it if the books themselves are
The
necessarily SJW, but definitely the people behind the High Republic, the ones that like Justina Ireland, who basically attacked an entire demographic based on their skin color and told people that if you don't like my politics, don't buy my books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're pretty SJW.
And if you didn't, if she's saying that she puts her politics in her writing
Mm-hmm.
and she's an SJW, would that automatically make you assume that what is going to be in these books is going to be SJW?
Well, if they're her politics and her politics align with that of that crowd, then that would be kind of like based on the transitive property.
Mm-hmm.
You would safely assume that.
Now, you can also have a look at the characters and go, that haircut's a little bit on the SJW kind of side. We're kind of we're trying to get you to see yourself in these characters and insert yourself in these characters. Is that right?
Yeah.
And that's sort of a bit of an SJW kind of thing, right?
Well, that's basically just, I would say it's a bit like that, yeah, but this whole mentality of I can't like a character unless I see myself in that character. So unless it looks like me, is the same gender as me, is the same sexuality as me, I can't see myself in that character. Never mind, there's more to a character than the superficial qualities. But that's the mentality in Lucasfilm now within the story group and the books.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I agree with that, John 42. The reading books doesn't make you make one smart, and I can attest to that because I've read books and I ain't smart.
Oh, stop. No, but I read several chapters of they release free chapters of The Light of the Jedi, and it's boring. And there are things in there like forced diversity, like, hey, it's Avar Kriss. She's awesome. There's the young 16-year-old girl. She's awesome. There's stuff like that is just the forced diversity itself, the character designs. You can call that woke, but I think we need to get deeper into it until we start seeing, a lot more of where they're going with this, who they're going to make heroes and stuff like that. Because ask yourself this, like watching the Disney trilogy, like what's woke about it? Leia cucking out males, right? Stuff like that. The same thing I think is going to happen in this. So someone would have to explain to me what's woke about the Disney trilogy that's not about the High Republic and Mandalorian and stuff like that, because Bo-Katan and all that type of stuff. So anyway, I think it is definitely woke.
Mm-hmm. Well, to me, it definitely comes across as being woke. Again, the authors behind it. This is one of those things where they're so. I mean, two people that are involved with the High Republic are raging racists, like full
More
on.
than two.
And yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
On deck, and from what I've read so far, I can confidently say there is just not any SJW politics in there. Now, you may be wondering, Goldman, there are so many prominent YouTubers who told me that the High Republic is SJW propaganda. What are you talking about?
I don't know. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. So
I don't know what he's talking about either. I mean, it's kind of like what Will said earlier in the chat. He hasn't heard that it's really woke. He's just heard that it's boring. Like I've heard a lot of that from somebody like Ryan, who if there was SJW politics or whatever in these books, I'm sure he would call it out. I don't know who these people specifically are. I'm purely not interested in it because, well, the person who wrote the book told me not to buy it. And I'm just not interested in that part of their Star Wars universe because the EU is my Star Wars now. So that's why I'm not reading it. But when I see a a character with a half-shaved head, and
Yeah.
you know, I know a haircut doesn't make something woke or SJW per se, but it's definitely inserting,
Forced diversity.
Well, it's kind
It
of
is.
out of their playbook in terms of like how they create their characters.
He does make a point though later on about the diverse thing, and yeah, it's not the worst point in the world. Anyway,
Well, what
go
about
on.
that body positive mechanic that was actually a Jedi? I guess I thought it was just like a supporting.
What? Body
Huh.
positivity mechanic?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
No, because for one thing, I really didn't care. About
Oh my gosh, I'll find it and we'll look at it before the stream's over. But yeah, and I think it's a Jedi, not just like a supporting, crew member of the Jedi or anything. It's an actual Jedi. And I think everyone thought it was a girl, but it was a guy. So
Sorry,
boom, SJW. There it is.
Can I just go off the SJW or the woke thing for a second and just say they actually destroyed more hyperspace lore in this book?
Oh hell yeah, they did. Worse.
Anyway, they just can't get shit like that right. They just have no idea. They have no idea.
Say, just to play devil's advocate, are there people out there who will automatically assume something is woke because of what, like
haircut?
Haircut. Just assume. Yes, there are people out there that are like that who will say like for example, what am I looking forward to that people are? Oh, I'm looking forward to the Lord of the Rings series in a way. Am I apprehensive? Yes, because of what I'm seeing, but I'm going to give it a chance. I'm looking forward to it because I love Lord of the Rings. However, I've had people come into like my mentions, into my comment section and say like, it's going to be woke trash. And I'm like, you don't know that. So there are people out there who will automatically assume that because of the emergence of identity politics in the entertainment industry, that everything's going to be trash, like woke trash. They are out there. So I will give them that point. There are people like that out there.
Yeah.
However, to generalize YouTubers who are complaining about these series and things like that is they're making claims that it's woke. No, I mean, I watched Captain Marvel. The actual Brie Larson version. I'm not gonna say how I did it, but I watched it. You know what that movie's biggest sin was to me? It was boring as hell. I do not remember a damn thing from that movie. Is there feminist woke points in it? Yes, specifically the motorcycle scene. But to say like the film itself is entirely woke, I would argue no, it's not entirely woke. There are moments, but it's not entirely woke. But
can I just also say, this guy made a massive video, 20-minute video, 30-minute video about why Rey isn't a Mary Sue. This guy clearly likes.
I heard about that one. Yeah.
This guy clearly likes the sequel trilogy and what Disney is doing with Star Wars. So his views would be different to a lot of ours, clearly. So it makes me think that he can't identify the identity politics or the whatever they're inserting in there because he's just blind to it. Because if he thinks that Rey isn't a Mary Sue, I mean, dude, look up the definition and that's enough. It should be enough. You know what I mean? Like, this guy clearly doesn't view things the same way that we do. Yeah, I don't know. And again, what does that mean? That now I can make a YouTube video basically saying, don't watch this guy because he's a liar? Because his opinion is different to my opinion? Because that's what he said at the beginning of this video. If you're sick of being lied to and having to click on clickbaity titles of videos and being lied to by these people, like, okay, I could say the exact same thing about you, dude. And what? Just because you've read 2/3 of a book, it makes you a professional on the High Republic and it makes you a professional on SJWs or SJW politics or SJW inserts or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Okay. You're putting yourself on a pretty high pedestal there, dickhead.
Pretty much. People who have been telling you this are liars. They have been manipulating you just so they can make a quick buck off of your click. I can guarantee you that most of these people that have been saying the High Republic is SJW probably hasn't read a single page of this book. And
bullshit, I read 4 chapters.
Well, I will say there, will be people out there, exactly like Mara said, that will purely speculate that it is SJW or it is woke because of a haircut or because of this or because of that, and they won't go near it. And
here's the thing about.
But Disney haven't given us any reason to put any hope in these books. I mean, again, there's a writer that's come out and said, well, if you don't like my politics, you better not buy my books because my politics is in my writing. So suck it up or don't buy it. All right, cool. I ain't going to buy it. You know why? Because your SJW politics are going to be in your book based on your words, correct? Like this.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, here's the thing about the haircut. So, putting these haircuts and stuff like that are contemporary to modern times and associated with SJW stuff. What's that weirdo's name, that writer's name that has that haircut? She has like a Louisiana last name with ending in an X. Damn it, what is her name? She wrote like a from a certain point of view story. Ruby Roo, no, something. I don't know. Whatever the fuck her name is, that's her haircut. So my point is, imagine if in '77 Lucas had, written Star Wars and hey, I'm going to fight the power, and he had Luke with like a punk rock haircut because proto-punk was starting to come out and stuff. It's like that makes no sense. It's like, hey, I look at that and that's what's happening now. It just takes you out of the Star Wars. It's almost as bad as this Chinese sector of Star Wars space that they're coming out with only in China. It makes no sense. And that in and of itself makes it SJW. And I guarantee when we get further into this, you're going to see the same type of messaging that you're seeing in the Disney trilogy. Now, Ryan Kennel, I think he's read the whole book or he's about to, and he said it's boring AF, but it's not, there's nothing overtly woke yet. But I still would say that just the character designs and all that stuff, that is woke enough for me. And who they choose to make characters.
But who wrote this first book? It wasn't just
Sewell did. Charles Sewell.
It wasn't any of the racists that work for them. Or
right, he stayed out of politics a little bit.
He might be, but yeah, exactly. He stayed out of it and he keeps it out. And this is another good point here from Greg. The whiteboard is evidence enough of where their minds are at. Like, how many times did you see diversity on that whiteboard? I think it was 3 times. It mentions diversity. And, I can't remember what else was on the whiteboard. I mean,
well, they had representation for old people.
Representation.
They had dinosaurs on there.
Dinosaurs.
So.
Wait, hold on. They have representations for old people, but
dinosaurs. That was a joke. Never mind. It went over our head.
Oh, okay. I was just saying. I was gonna say because I was answering a message. Sorry, I was answering a message. Like what?
But yeah.
Space dinosaurs. Yeah, old people.
Yeah.
But see, like again, you're reading a book that wasn't written by necessarily one of these SJWs, overtly SJW people that work for Lucasfilm. Wait till you get. I wonder if he's going to be able to go, oh, okay, this book written by Justina Ireland is actually pretty woke because based on what I'm hearing, it's going to be from her mouth again.
The thing is, sometimes if you adhere to a certain set of politics, and then someone who disagrees with your politics points out and something you like that criticizing about those politics, you're not going to see that because in the way you agree with them. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but for him to say it's not SJW, there's no SJW politics when he himself has basically shown that he kind of toes that line of identity politics and how he in his defense of Star Wars as it is now, he's probably not going to see those politics in the book.
Yeah.
If I were to equate it to anything, it's like the Emperor's New Clothes. We are pretty much the little boy who points out the Emperor is naked.
Naked, yeah.
And no one else wants to see it.
Yeah, and something else. I saw a bunch of people talking about the lightsaber thing from the comic where one of the Jedi uses a lightsaber to stop her descent on the side of a cliff, and it stops. Well, okay, everyone's, bashing that in the High Republic, but all the stuff that doesn't make sense in The Mandalorian gets a pass because the High Republic isn't popular,
Pretty much.
Yeah, there it is. It's still out there. Wow, Rhino.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, what's going on here? Oh, that's so small still. Let me see. Feelings.
Feelings.
Feelings, the first one that I read. Diversity is there. Let's see what else.
And that's under the fiction column.
Surprise.
Surprise! Oh well, it's a surprise that they even.
Plants.
Yeah, I love how Star Wars with a love heart and the Force is at the bottom of the list. What's the first one? Not pro-war.
Wait, hold on.
I remember this now.
Did they even watch the original movies?
What's that say?
I like when Hal Hickle and Ichibaka fight about it not being about war. That's hilarious.
There's dinosaurs. Again, diversity, I think, is above, but I can't really tell.
What's the name of that column? I can't see it.
They there.
Star Wars writers.
Oh, that's what they're saying they want in the writers' diversity.
Wishes.
But there is no diversity.
Wishes.
Star Wars wishes.
Is there any way for you to kind of zoom in on that picture?
Sith Empire.
There you go. There's no diversity of thought in the writers.
No.
Sith, what does that say? Sith Empire?
Sith Empire, yeah.
That's what I said. That's why I said, basically, as point out, they're changing the rule of 2. So it's not 2 Sith entirely. It's 2 Sith to rule the Sith Empire. Even though the movies are canon, and in the prequels, Yoda says, always 2 there are, a master and an apprentice. No more, no less.
Mm-hmm.
And that says university.
So you would think they would not be surprised if there actually was the Sith Empire, that they would not have been surprised that Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon fought a Sith on Naboo.
So they're describing themselves there, Chaos Agents.
Yeah.
You know what I thought that said? Sweep the leg.
Nice.
Chaos Agents, I think that says down there.
Yeah, rival houses. Of course, we have to have a rival houses, because why the fuck not?
Relatable characters. There's another diverse fucking, relatable.
I have to see myself.
Yeah, that's that thing. Exactly.
They define relatable for themselves, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They
Anyway.
not pro-war droids scope mythic, even though basically there's nothing mythic about it, since they
Not yet. Nope.
themselves. Space and lightsaber. Okay. For Star Wars, all right.
I know that says hunters. What's that first
Relic
one?
hunters.
Oh, relic. Okay.
They want to find everything from every franchise ever, and let's just find a way to put it in the story.
Don't forget, they did go through other different forms of science fiction, and don't remember what we got from that. May the Force be with you.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right, that's good. We showed that. Thank you, Chris, I think it was, who told me.
It was the Fox.
Was it Chris? Whoever it was, thank you for reminding me that I have the internet. All right, let's continue with this tool.
Let's be honest, they probably don't do much reading.
Don't attack the person.
Goldman.
So he has a little dig there at listen to what he says here.
This book, and let's be honest, they probably don't do much reading in the first place. But Goldman,
Ooh.
why would
Okay.
is SJW in the first place? Honestly, it's only because of the diverse cast. The authors behind.
Oh man.
Hang on. He says it's only about the diverse cast. Hang on, let me go into the next bit. Just
Behind the scenes may or may not have said things, but I can confidently say that in the books there is nothing SJW. You know what's funny?
so he is acknowledging that the people that are making this stuff may or may not have said things, may or may not have. Dude, just say that they've said shit. Just the fact that he has to bring that up means that they've said shit. SJW or woke or whatever, or racist for that matter. Anyway.
Funny, a lot of these people that I like to call the fans that cry at SJW, they love Clone Wars, but the arc with the younglings, which is basically what some of these books are, is
Alien.
What about his
Alien? Doesn't necessarily look like he's human. Skin tone, skin color. Alien.
Yeah,
There is not
there's a
one.
race, and I can't remember what they are, but they're humanoid. They look very close to humans, but there's slight differences. So I don't know if that's what he is, but yeah, there is a race like that.
Like, okay, these people, like, it's not like this person's got one shaved ear or something.
Yeah.
You know, this Wookiee doesn't have like a half-shaved head as well, and there's one human could possibly even be alien in this picture. What's your point, dude? It's Star Wars. You know, again, we could talk about the OT and say how diverse that cast was. It's pretty fucking diverse.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't have to be thrown in your fucking face. Anyway.
Much more diverse than the High Republic is. You know what I noticed? The only time these people scream SJW is when the creator of a certain...
Here we go.
Hang on. But how was Avar Chris described to us?
Pretty much better
The bestest ever.
Yeah, pretty much better than Yoda.
Like, okay. That's the description of the character.
And so much for diversity, you have a white savior female lead. I'm like, why aren't these people who champion diversity, like, they're conveniently overlooking the fact that the main character is another white woman.
Yeah.
Wait. There's another great bit coming up in a sec.
Project says something SJW. Now, what's my evidence for this? Well, let's look at Rogue One. Rogue One was directed by Gareth Edwards, and a lot of people seem to like Rogue One, especially these people that scream SJW. But to the best of my knowledge, Gareth Edwards hasn't said anything SJW. But
with a lead female character, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at the actual cast of Rogue One and see how diverse it is. The main character, Jyn Erso, is a woman. Oh no, but Goldman, she's white. It's okay. Fair enough. Let's look at
what? Wait. All right. I'm okay. I need alcohol. I'm not drunk enough for this shit right now. What's his point?
Yeah, I know. She's white, so it's okay. Okay. Have you not seen the climate that we live in right now? Being white ain't a good thing.
Who was complaining about the only thing I complained at all, and I'm using complained very, very loosely at this point about the cast for the movies, is that basically the female leads have all been white brunettes, and that's a self-insert of Kathleen Kennedy. That's the only thing I've complained about. Mm-hmm. But no one was complaining about the cast, really, in terms of diversity for Rogue One. Point someone out. Point someone out who's complaining about the cast for Rogue One, other than maybe, just maybe, their characters were boring. Well, not about the cast themselves.
Well, we've complained because essentially Disney's racist for replacing an Asian woman in that role.
Well, yeah,
because that's a direct ripoff of Dark Forces.
Yeah, I'm saying like that would be like a legitimate complaint. I'm saying about like that would be coming up from like basically Star Wars fans are going, wait a minute, why did you make Jyn Erso? You like just basically tweak the name and go from Jan Orr as an Asian woman to a white woman, but okay. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying like most people who like this movie are not complaining about the cast. Not complaining about the cast at all. So like, what's his point?
The Gold Man.
I'm just okay.
Sorry, I'm just telling Soul Assassin his name. He's the Gold Man, and the reason why he's the Gold Man is because he loves golden showers. All right. So yeah, apparently we all liked a white female character or something, and that's okay.
The rest of the cast. Cassian Andor, played by a Latino actor. Bodhi Rook, played by a Pakistani actor. Baze Malbus, played by an Asian actor. Chirrut Imwe, played by an Asian actor. Saul Guerrera, played by a black actor. Funny enough, the only white men in this movie.
I don't understand his point here because, like, okay, no one's really complaining about black actors, white. This is the problem: is that everybody. What we're complaining more about is storylines, plot lines, things like that. But when we plainly see like a white dude being put down, or like the best example that I can sort of come up with off the top of my head is the way that Holdo speaks to Poe. if that's not an SJW moment in storytelling, well then, whatever it is. Okay, there might not be a lot of that in this High Republic, but if it's not in this book that you're reading now, it's certainly coming. I just don't get, has anybody ever complained about seeing a Latino actor playing a role or a black actor playing a role?
The cast themselves, I don't remember at all anybody complaining about the cast themselves. Have there been complaints about the characters? Yes, I think Cassian Andor is one of the most boring characters they've ever put on the screen.
Yeah.
And the only character that really stood out to me was the droid. But I didn't complain about the fact that Diego Luna was cast. I didn't complain about the fact that Riz Ahmed was cast, or Forrest Whitaker, or Donnie Yen. No one fucking cared.
Mm-hmm.
No one did. Really.
In fact, I like Donnie Yen. I think he's a great actor.
I'm not invested at all in Disney Star Wars, but if they had been smart, because they wanted to use the Force anyway. If they had been smart, do a show centered around Donnie Yen's character, like that group of people that they call themselves the Guardians of the Wills. Do a show around the Guardians of the Wills. You can introduce the Force without having exactly Force users, and boom, there it is, right there. He was more popular for that movie than Cassian Andor was, but we were getting an Andor series instead. How about they complain about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Movie that are new characters is Orson Krennic, who's the main bad guy, and Galen Erso. But Goldman, not everyone likes Rogue One. Let's talk about something that everyone does love. Fine. Let's talk about The Mandalorian.
Okay, this is what I love. When he goes through the character descriptions of played by a black character, played by see if you notice what I noticed.
Show that everyone's talking about right now. First, let's completely ignore the fact that Dave Filoni went to a conference where he talked about the importance of women in Star Wars.
Let's ignore that.
Okay, hold on, I gotta do this.
Ignore that.
Oh my god. A female character. How unfair.
And let's ignore that fact. He just said, let's ignore it. All right, we'll ignore it.
Yeah.
Because him saying what he said at that conference doesn't align with what you're talking about. All right, cool. Let's ignore it.
Second, Jon Favreau, to the best of my knowledge, hasn't said anything SJW. God, I hate saying that. But
because
Okay. What's his point there? Yes, Jon Favreau has not said anything SJW. It's probably one of the reasons why people praise the show.
Yeah, one of the reasons why people are actually at least accepting of the show.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where he's going with this.
Yeah, you wait.
What?
You wait.
let's look at the cast of The Mandalorian, shall we? The Mandalorian himself, Din Djarin, is played by a Latino actor.
Gaedro,
played by a black actor. IG-11, played by a New Zealand actor. Cara Dune, played by a woman. Fennec Shand.
Did you see something there? He doesn't say a white woman.
Played by an Asian woman. Moff Gideon, played by a black man.
So funny.
Ahsoka, by a woman. Fennec Cara Dune, played by an actor. IG-11, played by a Latino actor. Greef Karga, played by a black actor. IG-11, played by a New Zealand actor. Cara Dune, played by a
white actor.
Fennec Shand, played by an Asian woman. Moff Gideon, played by a black man. Ahsoka Tano, played by a black woman. Bo-Katan, played by a woman. Boba Fett, played by a New Zealander.
A woman. Not
a woman. Not a white woman. A woman. Like, all right. Okay.
Because it's not diverse. Just being a woman is.
I know it's a minor nitpick of what he's actually saying here, but it's like, dude.
So he's saying, hey, you should be criticizing the Mandalorian for being woke because you're criticizing High Republic for being woke.
Can I also appreciate the fact that he's pointing out how I did not realize this, that Carl Weathers and the actor who plays Moff Gideon are black. I mean, I thank you for pointing it out to me. I would never have known until you pointed it out. I would never have known that Tamara Morrison is played by a New Zealand actor. Never would have known that. Oh wait,
But see, the point that he's trying to make is that we make our determination of what is SJW and what's not SJW based on the casting, like the characters, right? Whereas that's not entirely true. Yes, that has some percentage in what we view to be SJW. But again, this guy is separating, and he's already said that the creators may or may not have said certain things that are SJW, right? But he's going to ignore that again because that doesn't align with the point that he's trying to make. This sounds like clickbait to me, dickhead.
Well, not only that, Rhino, but you know, we've consistently criticized stuff, and like, you know, the girl power scene in the last episode. Yeah, we called it woke because it is, you know. Hey, let's come off and let's leave Den inside the shuttle just so we can have that scene. You know, they could explain that shit away by saying that he was waiting for them to create a distraction, and then they're just running through the ship running roughshod through all these stormtroopers.
The thing that I don't,
you know, that was woke, and not everyone loves the Mandalorian, as at least we've shown, and a lot of people, the silent majority, I think.
Not everyone called that out either. Anyway, the other thing too with that opening scene in that, why couldn't, if they were going to kill all the stormtroopers in that bay where they landed, why didn't Din Djarin come out shooting with them to save them having to possibly get hit because they may have got overwhelmed? And when they've killed everyone, then they split up. It's like they didn't think that that would have been a good idea. I mean, then people might say, oh, but they've got cameras. They'd see him. Okay, they've got cameras. They'd see him walk out after they left. It's the same thing. Like, that doesn't make sense. So try again. And also the scene where Boba gets beaten up in the bar by the girl pulling him on the string and everything.
Oh, that was terrible. Yeah.
If that's not SJW or woke, I don't know what is.
And where was the guy?
Nothing is.
I think Greg was really the first one to hammer in on this, but where was the guy?
And where was the dude? That's right. So there has been SJW and woke moments in The Mandalorian that have been called out purely on the fact that, well, it is. It's them trying to empower women. It's using Star Wars as a platform, isn't it? In some way, shape, or form for your politics, what you feel is the right thing to do. Okay, that's SJW, isn't it?
Yep.
Am I wrong or am I right?
You are right.
I don't know. What would I know?
There aren't any white men in The Mandalorian. I mean, Luke doesn't really count.
Except for the one that they actually got rid of, the Mandalorian dude. He was. Oh no, he wasn't a white dude, was he?
He might have been like Hispanic. We'll have to look that up.
Anyway,
I guess there's the client that died. Again, he's an Imperial, so The Mandalorian is easily the most diverse project, but everyone seems to love it just because Jon Favreau hasn't said anything like "I love women." Newsflash: just because a creator might.
I love his little things that he keeps in there. Just because it's not SJW. Oh, I hate saying that. All right, dude. Well, why are you making the video then, you fucking idiot? It's so dumb. Okay, the content in the book might not come across as SJW. Is SJW and woke the same thing, or are they different?
Well, I think, okay, to be fair, I think woke is overused because I think it's lost its intended meaning. So I don't think they're exactly the same, but I think the SJWs have basically commandeered that term to the point. So if you disagree with them, you're not woke, and to be woke is to be in the right, pretty much. So,
by the way, Axe Woes was played. The guy's from England, but he's of Greek descent. So,
okay. Well, it's like me. I'm Maltese. I'm Maltese descent, so
you get classified as white, but racially, really, are you? You know?
Yeah, and I apparently came from. I've got my white privilege, which I'm still looking for it actually. Privilege.
Oh, you don't get that check? You might want to call. Your local government.
Your $1 billion, remember?
White privilege checks, basically.
Just a reminder, I've got to GoFundMe. My privilege is taking care of me. Don't worry.
I'm biracial, but whenever I fill out a form, there's nothing for a Middle Eastern category because basically lumped Middle Eastern into the white category. So I have to select white.
Racist. Racist paperwork.
Pretty much.
All right.
Say SJW things, that doesn't mean the story they are making is SJW. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening.
Well, hang on. I just want to go back and we'll just listen to that again.
SJW things. The
Okay,
Mandalorian is easily the most diverse project, but everyone seems to love it just because Jon Favreau hasn't said anything like "I love women." Newsflash: just because a creator might say SJW things, that doesn't mean the story they are making is SJW.
It is when they say, if you don't like my politics, well, it's going to be in my book, so don't buy it if you don't like my politics.
Yeah, I'm saying like that, and two things. To his point, yes. Like for example, The Witcher for season 1. Now I can't say anything about season 2, but one of the head writers for The Witcher on her Twitter page is like blatantly feminist. Like she has like no qualms with saying like, you know, putting her politics out there. But were her politics in The Witcher season 1? No, they weren't in season 1. Now I can't say anything about season 2, but they weren't in season 1. And question I have is, where was his fucking points about the High Republic not being SJW? Like, is he going to point out actual things in the books to prove it's not SJW, or is just the fact that you can't go off of what the authors say to automatically assume that they're SJW?
No, he's trying to shut down all the lying creators out there that come out with their own opinions about it, that he calls liars. And he's basically trying to say that, you know, don't listen to those liars that are telling you that it's SJW. Because they haven't read the book, or they probably haven't read the book. And because I am reading the book and I'm telling you that it's not SJW without actually showing you any proof or any evidence of why it's not, other than the fact that casting across other TV shows or movies within Star Wars have been diverse casts, then that's fine.
I'm saying, like, what was his point pretty much in this entire video is just say that the High Republic is not SJW, but he has no examples from the High Republic book.
Sample size isn't big enough either, right?
Why'd you bring this up, Tim?
Oh, this is because Maura hadn't seen this Precious here.
That's I've seen the picture, but I had no idea.
It's actually a boy.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Ram Jamaram that everybody, when they initially saw it, thought was actually a girl. And but it's actually been confirmed to be a dude, but it's not SJW.
Padawan that likes to work on stuff. So yeah, there you go. That looks like something you'd see if you went to, you know, like wherever kids hang out these days, if they're allowed to hang out.
Let's go back to this because it's nearly finished. When we finish this, I do want to go back to his opening statement, because that one was the one that made me laugh.
Oh, it's so hilarious.
Anyway, thank you everyone for listening to my rant about this. It pisses.
When you hear my rant in comparison to his rant, who rants better?
He's the beta ranter. You're the alpha ranter.
I know. I've already got him beat there. Man, I'd yell him out of a building.
This is me off, to be honest, because these people who scream SJW, they make conservatives look bad. And I'm not going to talk about my specific politics, but I have a lot of friends that are conservatives, and they would completely disagree with what these people are saying. And you know what's really funny?
Oh, that's a pretty broad statement.
I have a conservative friend.
Yeah, it's like I've got my token black friend, I've got my token Republican friend that would completely disagree with you saying that this is SJW. That's his authority point. Oh my god. Yes, we all simp for Steph. She's so beautiful.
Oh.
I guarantee you there's going to be people who are going to comment saying, I'm an SJW. And trust me, if you knew me in person, you would not be...
If I knew you in person,
you trust me.
You'd have two black eyes. You really would.
Calling me an SJW. Here are some of my other videos if you're interested in watching them.
No one's interested in watching them. Let's just listen to his opening statement once again, because I love how he just calls himself an idiot. Let's just hear it one more time.
High Republic is not SJW, and in this video, I explain why if you believe that, you're probably stupid. By the way...
Oh my gosh. Man.
My God.
How do you...
The High Republic is an SJW. And if you believe that, you're probably stupid.
How do you make a video, not watch it or watch it, and like upload that without...
God.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. That'd be interesting if he did, Lethal. If he had reviews for Redo. That'd be funny. Oh, man. The only thing that I can really say about this is that his only argument was the fact that there have been things within Star Wars that we've liked that have had diverse characters.
Highlight Jeff.
Or a diverse cast. And I mean, I don't know.
Yep.
Oh, shit. If you don't, oh man, I don't know what to say. This guy's got some really bad takes. Doesn't make him a liar, although he pretty much called me one sort of by default, and a lot of other people that I'm sure he's watched and I watch and I respect and things like that. And they're saying that they're making clickbaity things. Did you see that thing that Anna actually shared on Twitter earlier?
I haven't been on Twitter that much.
That's the end of the video, guys. The guy's an absolute idiot.
Mhm.
I don't know what more to say. I don't know how he can come to... I haven't even given it a downvote yet. There you go, pal.
Oh.
See, this is the thing. Like, when I make a video, the last video that I did on the Darksaber, I've got points to make and comparisons to show and things like that. This guy basically just said because, he's saying that we're being hypocritical if we're saying that this is SJW and we don't say that The Mandalorian or Rogue One is SJW. Okay. Good on you, dude. That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Where is this? There's an easy way to do this, and I'm definitely not doing it that way. Now I am. Oh, I hate how you can't blow it up.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to go through it because I do want to end it, but this apparently came out.
Oh, I saw that last night.
Oh, okay.
Stupid. It's stupid. Anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. 31 people still here and watching. It kind of picked up late. I think it's
People are
because,
waking up.
Yeah, people are waking up. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I really do appreciate all of you for listening to me rant and talk about Star Wars, talk about Wandavision. If you did come in late and you wanted to see our thoughts on Wandavision, you can either go to Lethal's channel, Lethal Lightning, and we did a full Aussie review on it, or you can go back to the beginning of the stream and watch that. I'd like to thank Lyndon and Lethal for both coming on. Lethal, you're an asshole if you're still awake for making me do the video because now I'm real tired. Tim, open airlock policy. Please tell
What's
people
up?
where they can find you and what you've got coming up.
Yeah, man, last weekend I wanted to make 2 or 3 videos to release in staggered fashion, but I just ran out of time, and work was shit this week. I worked 15 hours yesterday because idiots screw stuff up, and I have to come in and fix it. But I'm going to try, since I'm off today, to start making some stuff, some fun stuff, some serious stuff, and hopefully another episode of Expanded University. But those take so fucking long because hours of research. I'll just sit there and like read through comics and reference books and novels and try and, because I want to know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So that's
the Cardass library. That's your own personal library that you've named, correct?
Yeah, because of George Cardass, who is basically George Lucas in the Star Wars universe that Timothy Zahn created in the Hand of Thrawn duology. And it's pretty clear even when he describes that library. It's like the Skywalker Ranch library, the way it's designed and stuff. So yeah, pretty cool. But I hope to get all that shit out this weekend. I like making videos. It's fun, but it's just too many things personally and professionally going on to get as many out as I want. So
nice. Well, everyone, please go and subscribe to Tim at Open Air.
Thank you.
Videos are very good, and I do like your Expanded University videos. They are very, very awesome. Yes, we did find. Sorry, Mario. Just quickly, I'll get to you in one sec. We did find out a secret about Lyndon. He's a Russian spy, and his name is Boris.
Okay. I believe
so make sure that you call him by his proper name. His pronouns are vagina dick, and he's a Russian spy named Boris. Mara, thank you so much for coming on again. What have you got coming up? Have you got your Talk Nerdy to Me stream this weekend?
Yes. Coming back for Talk Nerdy to Us that I do with my nerdy home, Steph, at 10 p.m. Eastern Saturday. I will try to do like a quick video for today since I haven't been able to do one this week because of school and a bunch of other things. Just might do a quick one on like the date we now have for Snyder Cut, which I'm actually kind of pissed about because I have class on Thursdays. I'm fucking pissed. We'll see. It depends on when it drops. But before then, before Saturday, before my live stream with Steph, this evening, I will be on Orange Chat Reviews' stream. It's basically a Captain Marvel versus Captain Marvel stream. It's basically Kenzie versus Bree, so we all know how that's going to go. And then after that, at some point after that, I'll be basically making my return to Twitch, and it's kind of why I changed my avatar just real fast. And Witcher 3 is winning in the poll for which game I stream tonight.
I need to finish playing that game.
I'll basically be starting basically over again because one thing, like progress got yeeted, and then two, because I'm streaming it and most people have not seen it, I'm just going to start from the beginning anyway. So there it is. So right now it looks like it's going to be Witcher 3. It'll be depending on when the live stream on Orange Chat Reviews channel ends. So I have my emotes. I updated my page. So
what time is that stream with Orange Hat?
9 p.m. Eastern. So depending on how long that goes, which he generally tries to stick to an hour, I'll be starting my stream shortly after that. So anytime around 10 p.m. Eastern, I'll be doing not that long of a stream on Twitch, but I'll be basically playing, making my return. So.
Awesome. Well, I got invited onto the Versus stream. I don't know if I'm going to make it. It just depends on like what time I get up, and I got to get a heap of shit done. But anyway, yes, my hours are slightly climbing. Again, I got to get out some more videos myself. I am still going to be doing a video on the rumor about them fixing Luke Skywalker, and also the rumor, I suppose the rumor about the World Between Worlds fixing it, and how either of those things don't really do anything to anything. So I'll be doing that video, and any other Star Wars news. I'm going to sort of start getting a little bit more back into sort of trying to get at least a couple of videos, maybe 2-3 videos out a week if I can.
Nice.
And I do also want to plug this. Oh, we've got the Full Aussie tomorrow night on Lethal Lightning's channel. Tomorrow night, tomorrow morning, whatever. But I also want to share this. this week, and on the high ground, I almost said the High Council, on the high ground, we're going to have a very special guest, Mr. Drunk 3PO, there as Yoda. That actually looks really funny. So yes, that's going to be an excellent stream. So we've been wanting to get Drunk on for a fair while now, and it's awesome to be able to have him. He came on one of my Casual Rage streams, which was pretty cool. And yeah, so it's going to be a bit of fun.
Yep.
So that's on the Geek Blends channel Saturday night if you're in the States, or Sunday afternoon if you're in Australia.
Yeah, let me throw that shit in there too, so they can subscribe if they haven't already.
Yep. So go and do that. Go and sub to the Jeff over at the Geek Blend as well. He's been doing videos. He had a bit of a horrible night tonight getting his Wandavision review up. I actually don't even know if did he successfully do it. Hopefully
I didn't get a notification.
Yeah.
So
anyway, thank you everyone in the chat for coming out. Again, I appreciate all of you. We got Gordon, we got Biggles, we got Will, we got Lethal, that fucking tool. We got Porg, we got Holocron, we got Steph. We had Daniel earlier. He might be asleep now. We also had Joseph. We had John 42. We had Chris. We had Greg, Lost Jedi 22. We had Lord Vader. Lisa, all of you. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Thank you everyone for coming out. I appreciate all of you. I'm going to have to get some intros and some outros and some clips and some backgrounds, and I'm going to have to get myself a StreamYards so we can do it all properly. In the meantime, that gold man is a loser, and Star Wars sucks.